fake the handoff, reverse around the far side. Look at that close, and then the splash play on the tackle.
Hamilton cuts his way back to the middle part of the field. He's off to the races and gone. Another touchdown.
Post Prep's Game of the Week, presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
We're at Echo Park, way down south in Parker. It's week 8 in high school football, and welcome in, everybody. It is the Post Preps Game of the Week, featuring Rock Canyon and Chaparral in the Mount Evans Conference. I know you need a scorecard to figure out what the conferences are here, but it's a big game for both of these clubs. Chaparral in the RPI standing sitting 13th. If it ended today, they'd be in the playoffs. Rock Canyon's got a little work to do, and they'd like to snap a bit of a losing streak that they've got working on. I'm Cory, Lopez, D. White is alongside. The whole crew is here. The Post Preps Game of the Week, ready to kick off. Presented by American Furniture Warehouse next.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at thenewafw.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American Furniture Warehouse.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Beautiful view here as we look off to the west here from Parker. It's Echo Park Stadium, the second or third generation name for this stadium. It's a beautiful facility down here in Parker, though. I'm Cory, Lopez, D. White alongside D. I'm excited to get a look at these two teams here. Chaparral sitting about 13th in the RPI standings. We talked about Rock Canyon, though. The Jags are on the outside looking in. This is a big game for them.
Well, the Jags at 4-3. I mean, if you take a look at this schedule, they started hot, 3-0, and then since that time, 3 losses in their last 4 games. But as you look at Chaparral, as you said, you alluded to, 13th in the standings in the RPI right now. Rock Canyon at 29. So quite a bit of work to do. But if they can get past this game, if they can win this game, they've got 2 sub-500 teams to finish the season. So seemingly could get back into this thing. But this game tonight is a big one for Rock Canyon.
Those are the Jags that are headed their way into the locker rooms that are on the north side here of the stadium. The pink still out here as they highlight awareness of breast cancer and many different cancers to try to cure it. So let's take a look at the schedules here and how these teams have fared. It is week 8 in high school football now, and the crowd's starting to make their way in. We take a look at Chap first of all, and a 4-game win streak coming in here, and they're 2-0 in their conference. That bodes well for the Wolverines.
Well, and as you look at that schedule, you'll notice something once we go to the Rock Canyon schedule here in just a second, but you do have 2 light teams that they have played this year in Thunder Ridge and Cherokee Trail. Now, Cherokee Trail went down hard to Chaparral, but Cherokee Trail was actually able to beat Rock Canyon. So there's a little bit of mixture here with the way that this league is going. There's a lot of topsy-turvy going on, but Chaparral hot right now with 4 straight wins.
The non-conference schedule for Chap, you see they played Grandview, they played Highlands Ranch. Got to play the best to be the best, I guess.
That's a tough start for them. That's definitely a tough start, and we'll take a look here at the Rock Canyon schedule. And as you take a look, as I talked about earlier, 3 wins to start off the season against Arapahoe, Smoky Hill, and Denver East, and a Denver East team that's been good over the last few years, an Arapahoe team that's been up and down, but a really good football team. Then you start to see the decline there. Thunder Ridge, that tough loss, the 10-3 loss there. Castle View sneaking in a win, but then Pomona and Cherokee Trail and Chaparral. You see those 3 big games in a row. That's why this game is so important to Rock Canyon. You see Hinckley and Mountain Vista down at the bottom of that schedule. That is an opportunity for Rock Canyon to maybe kind of jump back into this thing if they can win tonight.
Hinckley is at the bottom of the Mount Evans Conference. Mountain Vista sitting 3rd, tied with Cherokee Trail right now, and squeezed in between there, and that's where Rock Canyon sits. It's Chap, and it's Rock Canyon. We've got more. We'll start highlighting the players we'll be talking about. It's the Post Preps Game of the Week, presented by AFW.
With the largest largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere, anytime.
Watch new episodes of Post Preps TV with Kyle Newman every week at denverpost.com/preps. Watch new episodes of Post Preps TV with Kyle.
Can't believe we're into week 8 already here. It is the Post Preps Game of the Week presented by American Furniture Warehouse. Fall is in the air here at American Furniture Warehouse. Okay, look at, we've had some barn burners that have rolled up there and pretty good games. Even when we saw the first game out of the box, Pomona just kind of bum rushed Mullen there at the end. We find out that Mullen struggled a little bit with those injuries, but we've still got Highlands Ranch and Legend coming up, and then the Grandview Overland matchup ought to be a fun one too.
Well, in Pomona, when you look at that team, I mean, this is a really, really good football team. And so losing that game to Mullen, I don't see any shame in that. Obviously, they might because they wanted to win that game. But, I mean, we've had nothing, as you said, but barn burners, for lack of another term. I don't want to steal yours, Cory, but I'm going to have to. But if you look at this schedule, I mean, just about every team that's in the top 10 we've seen on this schedule. This is what Post Preps does for you every week, is brings you these top marquee matchups. And if you look at the rest of the schedule, Chap and Rock Canyon tonight, Highlands Ranch and Legend next week right here on this very field, and then to finish up with a Grandview team that we saw a little bit earlier in the season who went down very by the slimmest of margins to an Eagle Crest team that is hot right now. So I love the rest of this schedule. We're looking forward to another big one tonight, man. I gotta love Post Preps, baby.
We're going to talk about some of the players that are going to be involved tonight. We want to remind you, by the time we get toward the end of the game, you and I are going to have to figure out a way to choose the American Furniture Warehouse Player of the Game. Come fall into savings during our fall clearance event, only at American Furniture Warehouse. Visit afw.com. So one of those players, we're going to start off with Chaparral. One of those players that will certainly be looking for Connor Ruth, the quarterback. He's back.
He's back.
And that could be very important as they roll into week 8 to have him back, because the all-everything, Peyton Ross was doing everything for him while Ruth was trying to get better.
Well, and usually we use that term loosely, the do everything guy. But, I mean, you're talking about a guy in Peyton Ross. He's played quarterback. He's the second leading rusher, the second leading receiver. He's the punter, the punt returner, the kick returner, free safety, and he plays corner just because he can.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid was the player on this team that Coach Dobbs really raved about. This is the guy that's kind of led them the last couple of weeks. But now to get this young, talented sophomore Connor Ruth back is huge for the Chaparral offense, considering Ross completed just 8 of 21 passes in those 2 games at quarterback. So it's going to be nice to see that passing game come back to Chaparral.
If only to get Ruth back in there to give Ross a little bit of a breather. He just has to run routes, doesn't have to think about a lot of stuff outside of that, to give him a bit of a break.
Well, and now you're using him, now you can use him more in more lengthy situations at these other spots. I mean, now you have the ability. He doesn't have to worry about calling plays. He doesn't have to worry about being in the huddle. He doesn't have to worry about reading defenses. All he's got to do now is catch the ball and do what he's done every single game this season, minus these last 2 at quarterback, although they put up 74 points in the last 2 games with him at quarterback, even only completing 8 passes.
Well, that's not to say that we won't see Ross back at quarterback potentially tonight for a few special plays. You see the Denver Bronco cheerleaders out here. It's one of the Broncos games of the week as well, so maybe a little added extra value for the folks that come down here to Parker to watch this one. There's a look at Chaparral. They're led by Brian Tinker, and Tinker coming in here. He has put together a program that just go, or not Brian Tinker, excuse me, Rod Dobbs, who has put together back-to-back playoff runs here, and particularly last year where they've narrowed it down to just 16 teams. That's saying a lot. A little tradition being built here for the Wolverines.
A lot harder to get into these playoffs now that they went from 32 to 16. But this is a team that was just in the playoffs last year and took a tough loss to Eagle Crest in that first round, 40-12. So an Eagle Crest team that's been on the uptick lately kind of just caught that buzzsaw in Chaparral did. But right now, I mean, this Chaparral team, this is a team that's 5-2. They're hot right now. They've won their last 4 games. They have the ability to run the football. Their passing game now is going to open up with Connor Ruth back. So I'll be interested to see what they do there. But to me, the question becomes, if you're the defensive coordinator for Rock Canyon, now you've been looking at film for the last 2 weeks. You've been looking at this Peyton Ross kid. They've been running a completely different offense, and now they go back conventional. So now you're looking at film from 3 and 4 and 5 weeks ago. So it'll be interesting to see how Rock Canyon is able to transition with this quick news of Connor Ruth being back and playing quarterback for the Wolverines.
Captains coming together out in the middle of the field. Funny you should mention the defensive coordinator. That also happens to be the head coach for Rock Canyon, Brian Tinker, as I tried to put him on Chaparral. But Tinker came over from Fossil Ridge, and they were building something special down there. He moves down to Rock Canyon. Now he's trying to do the same thing for the Jags.
First 2 playoff appearances in school history are due to Brian Tinker. So this is a guy that they didn't renew his contract up there at Fossil Ridge. There's a couple articles about it if you look hard enough.
Sure.
But this is a good football coach. This is a guy that turns around programs, and you're seeing that here again in Rock Canyon. And if anybody knows Colorado high school football, you have a lot of talent down here on the south end of town. So I'm sure that he's going to be going up against schools like Valor and some of these other schools that are down here. But if he can generate enough talent down here, there's no reason he can't do the same thing down here that he did at Fossil Ridge.
It is amazing to see what's happened here in Douglas County, certainly with the explosion of population and the explosion of schools down here. Rock Canyon, a legend. You think about just a couple of schools out there. I know that Lutheran is down here in Parker Lutheran. There are so many schools that explode, but it's exciting to watch how coaches have come in and seized the opportunity with the young players and turned them into traditional powers now, potentially.
Well, and that's what we're seeing here at Rock Canyon. You've got a coach, as we just talked about in Dobbs, that's building something here at Chaparral. So I totally agree with you there, Cory. I have no doubt that both of these teams will be prepared. These are 2 really good coaches. This is 2 teams that are close in proximity and aren't going to have a whole lot of love for each other. A little bit of love lost tonight. So I'm hoping for a slobber knocker. I'm hoping that these 2 teams come out firing, and that's exactly what we're going to see tonight on this field due to post-preps.
There's our first reference to a slobber knocker here in the post-preps game in Week 8. I like it a lot. In the Mount Ebb, it is rare with the waterfall system, the way they've got it set up, and here come the Wolverines onto the field, that 2 teams that are actually close to each other in proximity are in the same conference, so that works out pretty well. The travel, not quite as bad. Adam Mullen is the quarterback for Rock Canyon. This kid throwing for, well, essentially over 1,200 yards. He's been the main quarterback the whole time. 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The junior kind of picking his spots and doing well running the offense.
Absolutely, and this is a 2-sport athlete. This is a kid that plays baseball as well, 6 foot, 175. But this is the stat that caught me, Cory. 13 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. So when he does air it out, he's very meticulous. He goes through his reads, he finds the open guy, and he has no fear about throwing it in there. So as you said, 1,223 passing yards this year. I mean, this is a kid that stands tall in the pocket, likes to sling the ball around, but do not forget, they don't call this team Rock Canyon for nothing, because they like to run the rock.
Yeah, averaging about 175 yards through the air, though, so they show they can pass it when they need to.
Yes, sir.
Well, they just as soon keep it on the ground with DeRose and Avery. Break here, and we come back to kick it off. Chaparral, Rock Canyon. It's the post-preps game of the week.
Hey, folks, I'm Kyle Newman with Post Preps TV, your weekly roundup on all things preps. Join me every week for all the latest news and analysis on Colorado high school football, basketball, wrestling, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, volleyball, softball, and many, many more sports. This is a huge top 10 game between these 2 teams. First, Dillon paces Evergreen with 13.7 points per game.
Yes, sir, this win means so much. I know we've been battling all these past 2 weeks in practice.
And that was an amazing moment for me to see him go from good quarterback to really elite Colorado high school quarterback. Hunter Willits and Grant Willits boast 5 state titles between them. Go to denverpost.com/preps for game highlights, a live stream of our game of the week on Post Preps Radio, and our weekly Post Preps podcast. Your sports, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7 at denverpost.com/DPTV.
After playing the game for many years, and I decided I could either watch from the couch or get on the field and become part of the game.
I became a judge because it was a natural transition from being a gymnast to coach, now judge.
I love the large crowds, the excitement of the game, and you know what? I got the best seat in the house.
Help these kids. Help this community. Become an official.
Post Preps Game of the Week. We are at Echo Park Stadium in Parker. All presented by American Furniture Warehouse here. I'm Cory, Lopez, D. White alongside, about ready to kick things off. I'm just going to check out. You know, you mentioned it. The weather is beautiful here. Makes you miss playing, doesn't it?
This is why you live in Colorado. And this is why you come out for Friday Night Lights. It doesn't get any better than this. I told the guys in the booth before the game started, these are the nights when ex-football players think about playing again. Now, my body was whispering in the other ear saying, I don't think you can do that anymore. But these are the nights you look forward to. This is what high school football is all about, and I cannot wait for this game to kick off.
70 degrees right now. Wind's gusting a little bit out of the south here. So left to right in front of us as you kind of view things. The Stars and Stripes sticking straight out from the pole there. And it looks like Shap is going to kick it away here to open things off. Rock Canyon will start off. Ryan Fitchner, that is, one of the kick returners. Ryan Halpin is also back, and you see Ben Kearney. Or is it Kearney? It's Kearney if you live in Nebraska. It's probably Kearney if you're in Colorado. So it's going to be, Ben's name's going to be Kearney here from here on out this evening as he gets ready to kick. And I told you it was a little windy.
There's that wind you were speaking of.
Week 8 here, every snap almost gets to it, the intensity builds, because for some teams you're on the outside looking in. You mentioned it's harder to get in the playoffs. Only 16 out of Class 5A.
Rock Canyon 29 looking to get a good start here on this first drive.
Kick away for Chaparral, and a short one, and a nice pickup there. How about that? Upman's going to take it and run wild with it, and that is Jack Ramsey. Nice job to scoop that up, and great field position to start for the Jags.
Well, and if you looked at this game last year, anybody that was either here watching that game or saw the film, this was a crazy game. Rock Canyon started with the ball last year, threw a pick six. Then Chaparral, after they scored, gave up 13 points to Rock Canyon. Chaparral came back, Rock Canyon came back. So topsy-turvy game last year. So we'll look to see if maybe we get a little bit of those jitters again tonight.
All right, here is our first look at Adam Mullen, the junior, and that pistol set here. Good to fake the hand up, got a man out to the right side. That is Mullen, and Mitch Mullen, a quick catch, but a good closing speed that time as Garrett Lowery ends up making the tackle. Here's the starters tonight. First of all, the offensive side of things, Mullen, DeRose, Halpin. We mentioned Halpin and DeRose. They want to get those guys the rock.
Well, and not only that, but they have a three-headed monster at wide receiver with Halpin, Garrison, and then also Romero, the younger kid at the junior. So the two seniors and junior, look out for them on the outside as we see them in trips right here.
All right, far side hash here, second down and about 7. There we go, got the ball. Run ahead, a nice ankle tackle as Isaac Wilson wraps around Duke Avery there, the senior, just following that big offensive line. There's the defense for Shap.
And as you look at this Chaparral defense, you see some seniors and some juniors mixed in there, but all upperclassmen. Keep an eye out for Tizell Lewis, not only on defense, but on offense for Chaparral as well. But big and aggressive up front with that big offensive line for Rock Canyon.
Yeah, Lewis is listed as a wide receiver as well. Back to Avery. Avery's got a big hole there. Bursts through up to about the 41-yard line. Tackle that is around the ankles. Jacob Stanton got to it, but big gain there on that quick hitter.
Duke Avery finding those little seams in there, and as you look at the offensive line here, some great blocking in the middle of that offensive line, opening up that hole. Looked like it was just a straight ISO, fullback leading through the middle, and creating some nice little creases there for the runner to get through Avery.
Run a 9, Mullen back at it here in the pistol set. They run 2 receivers down to the bottom part of the screen, and back it comes to Avery, and the hole closed up very quickly. Well, I saw big 56 Jacob Stanton kind of fill the gap, and then the rest of the white shirts jumped in there.
Well, Jacob Stanton, Wilson, Dietz, these guys are the guys up front that kind of make this thing tick, as well as Wick there, number 84, you see at the top of your screen. Look at the size of these kids here for Chaparral. These are some big boys, but conversely, wait until that offensive line for Rock Canyon walks up there. They got some big boys up there too. Going to be a lot of furniture moving in the trenches tonight.
Yeah, try moving Jackson Hoops there. That's the nose tackle. Right over the ball right now. Big 70. Little H-back moves in there. A couple in the backfield. Going to go up top, though. Got a man that streaking down the field is Parker Garrison, but pretty good coverage that time. And you mentioned it, Tizell Lewis. Lewis running stride for stride.
Tizell Lewis, a kid that's coming into his own as a defensive back, but as you said, very dangerous on the offensive side of the ball. But it looked like Mullen, if he had just put a little bit more air underneath that, it's possible that the receiver could have kind of slid under there. Maybe Garrison would have had a chance, but if they saw that look and they got that look out of it, don't be surprised when they come back to it.
All right, 3rd down and 10 here. Mullen, Avery on his hip on the right side here. Back to pass, got to do it on 3rd and 10, and the receiver trying to slow down a little bit. That was helping the intended receiver there, but it was thrown behind him.
The senior slipping down, trying to adjust to that ball. Now you saw some zip on it. Mullen's definitely got an arm. I mean, we talked about the fact that he's a baseball player as well, and usually those quarterbacks, a lot of them tend to play baseball because they have those big arms. So just got to settle down a little bit. He had the guy open. It would have been a 1st down, but right now Rock Canyon having to send it back to Chaparral.
All right, snaps a good one, and a almost rugby-style kick, and it takes a Rock Canyon bounce, I would say, but it turns into a Chaparral bounce as it bounds into the end zone. So 6 plays and a punt. It'll be the Wolverines' turn here as the defense, boy, they got gashed a couple of times, but then bowed the backs.
Absolutely. They kind of held down pat there towards the end of that drive and was able to bow up. As you said, that defensive line is where it started, getting some big stops on 1st and 2nd down. So now we get a look at the quarterback for Chaparral, Connor Ruth. He's been gone for a couple of weeks, so we'll see if he's got some rust carrying over as he gets the start tonight.
Okay, the sophomore getting ready to go, and he's going to go up under center. That's number 7 right there. He's got a single tailback behind him, and that's who's going to get the football there. That's Cornell Lewis. Lewis running right into the arms, and Brent Mobley matched up with him. Let's take a look at the starters here offensively, and we mentioned Connor Ruth is back in there, and that's a good thing, but that also means that Peyton Ross, number 3 there, well, he can go out and do a lot of different things for you.
Well, you'd say he almost gets a break, but then he's still playing 6 positions even though he's not playing quarterback. So I suspect that they're going to want to get the ball into his hands tonight. And again, look at these monsters up front.
Yeah.
These are 2 big teams up front in the front 7.
Boy, here we go. Back up under center. After a gain of about 4 here, and they're going to go to the running back, but he cannot escape this time. Lewis tried to kind of duck his way around there, and defensively, I'd give it to Caleb Hefner, but boy, that line wasn't moving anywhere, and there's that big defensive line along with the rest of the starters.
Well, I guess we'll have to call that the H-bomb because the other player was Henningsen. Henningsen, number 25, sneaking in there and making a play there. And you see these defensive starters for Rock Canyon, senior laden, big boys, guys that have been in that weight room for 4 years. So Chaparral's going to have to find a way to move this ball.
Ruth, that is spreading them out, trips in the bottom part of the screen here. He's looking left, now over the field. Now he's going up top. He's got one receiver down there, but it is picked off. They were looking to get to Ross. Instead, it is Zach Wilson stepping in front.
Zach Wilson made a heck of a play on that. We're going to get a replay here in just a second, and I want to show you this play. It almost looks as if he's not going to have a chance on this play, and at the last second, he kind of kicks it into another gear and just slips right in front of the wide receiver there, Peyton Ross. An excellent play for Zach Wilson there, and could be a tide turner early in this game. We just got done talking about last year. Interceptions, pick sixes, all over the field. We've seen that so far already, so I'm expecting another game that's going to go down to the wire.
That is big. To have that kind of closing speed on your DB, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. It's Adam Mullen's turn now, and he's going to hand it off. It'll be Avery picking his way through. Started left and then kind of pushed his way in there on the right side and, well, ran into the arms of big Jackson Hoops.
All right, Corey. You're going to have to hold me to this. I'm going to make a proclamation here.
All right, pretty early.
The fact that we see two big offensive lines and two big defensive lines, I think you're going to start to see these coaches realize that maybe going up the middle of the defenses isn't the best way to go. We're going to start to see some stuff out here on the edges. You got a lot of space out there. You have some guys that can make some moves, so expect them to kind of get the balls to the boundaries here pretty soon.
Out of that pistol set here, a little play action. They set it up to the outside. Avery will catch it. He was in that H-back spot, and Garrett Lowery will sling it down right about the 45.
Well, I'll say my patented catchphrase now, Corey. That may be the only time I'm right tonight. But as you saw, I mean, these guys are so big inside with their front sevens. I think these coaches are going to have to get a little bit more creative. I'm not saying abandon the run, and neither one of these coaches will definitely do that. But I think you're going to have to kind of hit the outsides a little bit, get that defense stretched out a little bit, and then maybe you come back to the interior of that defense.
Gain of 3. They spotted it at about the 46-yard line of Rock Canyon here. Mullen trying to get his receiver, slot receiver, to come in a little bit as they're on that far side hash. Looking here to the near side, fires it out, and it is caught out there. It is indeed. Garrison will come up with it there. You saw Lewis diving to knock it down, couldn't get his fingertips on it.
Well, you saw Lewis and Lowery out there, and I think Lowery might have been the guy that had the best shot at it.
He sold out there.
Boy, as you can see here, he closed very quickly and just got that ball in there. But again, that's that arm strength we're talking about. That's a right-handed quarterback throwing back to his left. However, still not enough for the first down, and it looks like Rock Canyon will punt again.
Cannot capitalize on the interception, but only got 2 yards to go, but you're right in the middle of the field. Don't want to give up essentially field position here. Or maybe they do. Direct snap to the up man, and it is a fake punt, and it worked perfectly.
Look, you don't turn a program around without being a coach that's willing to take some chances. We talked about Brian Tinker. We talked about what he did up there at Fossil Ridge. This is what he brings to a program. There are a lot of coaches, including myself, that maybe wouldn't have made that call right there, but a smart decision because it worked. Corey, you know that's how coaching works.
Yes.
It's always a smart call if it works, but a call that took a lot of guts there early in the game, especially when you're at midfield. So having that confidence in his team is going to go a long way with the Rock Canyon Jaguars.
The direct snap was to Ryan Fitchner, and he just took it right up the middle there. That one down near the ground. It's caught about the 39-yard line. They're going to give him the catch. Halpin pulled it off the turf.
Well, I'm going to play quarterback coach here a little bit. I love what Mullen is doing here, but the only thing that I would tell him is to pick that chest up. When you pick that chest up as a quarterback, it forces you to raise your loft on the ball. We've seen at least 3 balls so far early that are kind of getting close to the ground there. If he can hold that chest up, he'll have a little bit better chance of getting the ball out there.
Well, how about that? You saw Isaac Wilson look like he was coming to blitz, and somebody flinched.
And you see those big...
Oh, it goes the other way. I don't know if it was Wilson that stepped across the line there.
It did, but it looks like Jackson Hoops, big number 70 that you spoke about earlier. You know, we talked about this before in some of our other games. When you're a big guy and you've got that forward lean and you're waiting for that ball to snap so you can get back there and hit somebody, sometimes it's hard to pump off the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Well, it works out to Rock Canyon's advantage here. 1st down and 10. More than halfway through that first quarter. Handoff, trying to get to that left side. There's not a lot of room there as Garrison, I believe, gets the carry that time around. Oh, nope, number 8.
That is Nick Neiman. Nick Neiman, the sophomore, getting some younger kids out there. I mean, and this is the other way that you build a program. You have to get some of your younger kids some experience, get them involved in their earlier years, so that way when they become a junior and senior, a game like this isn't as deer in the headlights to them. They're able to perform right away.
Well, you see number 8 standing in the backfield, you go, well, it's not Avery, so they're not going to run it. Not true. Mullen, that one tipped and almost picked up by Lewis. I think it got tipped at the line, and then Lewis nearly got his mitts on it.
Lewis is going to see that one in his sleep. And you see the coach there patting him on the back, and he's mad at himself. He knows it. He made an incredible break on the ball. That's 3 breaks that we've seen by defensive backs in this game from both teams. So some great defensive back play early on here. But the quarterback, Mullen, has got to get that ball out a little bit quicker.
Boy, oh boy, looking for Garrison on that far side as the route got jumped here. So 2nd down. Mullen looking here to the near side, now fires over the middle, and boy, big time coverage. Lewis was all over it, and they're trying to get it into Halpin this time.
Wow, we may have to give Lewis a nickname. We might have to start calling him Samuel L. Jackson, because he was trying to figure out what was in that kid's wallet. He was all over him on that play. Surprised the flag didn't come out, but hey, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's not a penalty if they don't call it, so great play by Lewis there.
Another 4th down situation now. Fake punt at midfield on 4th and 2. This is 4th and 9, though.
You can bet Chaparral's aware now.
Yeah. They can woke them up, or rugby style. They will indeed punt it away. Angled kick. It's going to be inside the 20-yard line. In fact, right down to the 15-yard line.
Not the greatest punt, but you pin them inside the 20. And if you're a high school coach and people that are listening, if you know high school football, generally you're not going to have a marquee kicking game when it comes to high school football. Not everybody's got a J.K. Scott, who now plays for Alabama, who recently played for Mullen a few years ago. I mean, not everybody's going to have that at the high school level. So what you want in a high school game, you want to try and turn the field position by 30 yards. If you can turn the field position by 30 yards, you're doing pretty well in the kicking game.
All right, Wolverines' turn here. Up under center goes Connor Ruth. Got the back behind him. That's who's going to get it. Lewis found a little room. And Ed was set there. He gets to about the 23-yard line, and a nice pickup that time around of about 8.
Well, a nice jump cut to the outside there, but the biggest part of that play is that offensive line played on the other end of the line of scrimmage. And Cory, what I mean by that is you want your offensive line to get a yard on the other side of the ball. You want to play into the defense's line of scrimmage, not your own. And you saw a push of 1.5 yards before the running back even hit the line of scrimmage. Great job up front.
Ruth is up under center. Ross, by the way, on the end around. That's who's got the football. Now he's got one man to try to juke, and now cuts back to the middle here. Not a giant gain. You bet everybody's going to know where Peyton Ross is every time. Give credit to Caleb Hefner and the rest of the Rock Canyon defense.
Well, and you see exactly why Coach Dobbs definitely wants to get the ball in his hands. You just never know what's going to happen when the ball is in Peyton Ross's hands. And we've seen it the last couple of weeks, what he's been able to do from the quarterback position and all over the field. So anytime he's got the ball, Rock Canyon's ears better be pointed at attention.
It was enough for a 1st down, a gain of 4 here. The eye set, and they go back to Lewis as he tries to dance his way through. Found a little bit of a hole, might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. And Trevor Williams, the linebacker, the senior, I should say, coming off the bottom of the pile, got to help there too.
Well, and it looked like that might have been the other senior, Carnell Lewis, number 5 there, another shifty back that they like to use in the backfield, and he was the starting running back while Peyton Ross was playing quarterback, so expect him in the mix tonight.
3rd down here, 2nd down, I should say, and about 9.5 to go. Only about a half yard there. The slant and in and out of the finger. Credit part of the hit there. Zach Wilson kind of put a hurt in that time on the receiver.
Alec Horn, number 2, not able to reel that in. And if you're Coach Dobbs there, you're not. That's not a bad pass. You got it out in front. The wide receiver's got his hands on it. So you can't ask for much more than that. The only thing that you tell your quarterback, try and put it on his body a little bit more. Give him a better opportunity to catch it and maybe get some yards after catch. But just couldn't quite connect there.
Receivers don't like extending, going to the middle part of the
they
field,
don't.
do they? Play action there. Ruth going up top and pretty well covered there in the middle of the field. He was looking for Horn again, but again, better that thing was high that time around because he was well covered.
Good defense so far, and that's what we've seen from both sides. Great play from the front seven as well as the defensive backs as we've seen some breaks on the ball. We're seeing some good defensive football here in both of these teams. This is the exact antithesis to last season. Last season we had over 40 points scored combined from both teams in the first half, and now still 0-0 as we're ticking down to the end of the first quarter.
How about that? Here we go, the snap and the punt, and a low line drive punt, but again angling away from the return man who's going to get back there in time near the 20-yard line, and now looking for some room there. That is Ramsey, and Ramsey with a pretty nice return up to about the 35-yard line as Jack Ramsey, the sophomore, tracked it down. Give him credit. They were trying to keep it away from him.
Well, in the high school game, if you can only give up 10 yards on a return after about a 45-yard punt, you're doing something pretty good. Again, as we just talked about, 30 yards of field position. In high school, that's what you want to flip, and you got almost 40 out of that one. Great punt by the youngster for Chaparral there.
Coming down to the under 2 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Canyon's turn on offense. No points up on the board. Mullen looking into the right side. Oop. Receiver actually cut it. Halpin actually kind of cut the route off that time. Now we saw Schultz streaking down the sideline. I don't think that's who he was looking for.
Well, and I think they have to get on the same page here. It looks like they are just not on the same page, meaning Mullen and his 3 wide receivers that we talked about in the open. But you saw Mullen went over there and talked to Coach Tinker. I think Coach Tinker said, hey, settle down. These guys will be open. Take your time. Throw a good ball. I mean, that's all he has to do right now because he's got help on the outside.
Second down and 10 here from their own 35-yard line, and back to the ground they go. It's going to be Avery. He'll lean forward this time. Riley Golden, one of the players in there, along with Isaac Wilson.
Gold and Wilson making a great play there. Again, this front seven play has been stellar in this first quarter so far on both sides of the ball. But Chaparral right now just so stout up front. They are not allowing this running game. Besides that decent-sized run that we saw from Duke Avery on that first drive, not a whole lot after that.
Guess you got to keep testing it here. There comes a point, though, where you feel like you're just hitting your head against a brick wall. Over the middle it comes, tipped in the air. A lot of white jerseys around it, including Ross, but it'll fall harmlessly to the turf. Tristan Dietz, I think, got his big paws up there from his middle linebacker spot.
Boy, they might have got away with one there. It looked like Chaparral made some contact early. As you see there, it looked like number 26 got his paws on him. Number 26, that's Tefect Martinez, actually coming in there and getting a snag on that wide receiver. But again, if the refs don't call it, it ain't a penalty.
That's true. The punt is away and angled to the sideline and will be down near the 20-yard line. I'm impressed with the special teams on both sides. It's all about field position right now. Nobody's giving it up.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of people when they watch football, they want the fireworks. They want the big plays. They want the touchdown. They want the scores, the big scores. That's what they want. To me, as a football fan, call me old school, Cory, I like the 0-0 game. I like defense on both sides of the ball because it makes it more exciting because that one play could change the entire trajectory of the game. So I like games like this. And now, seeing a new look for Chaparral going 4 wide here.
Played 11 minutes, almost 11 minutes, 10 minutes, 55 seconds here. They'll hand it off. And that is number 30 off to the side. That's Smithwick.
Well, and Smithwick has been the guy between he and Carnell Lewis. Those have been the 2 guys in the backfield while Peyton Ross has been trying his hand at quarterback the last couple of weeks. But Smithwick is their leading rusher right now. He's a tough kid, runs tough inside the tackles. So maybe if they can get that running game going a little bit, they're trying to spread him out and hit him in the middle.
All right, gain of about 4 there. And Smithwick this time is gobbled up in the backfield Vinny wrapped him up just as he got the football.
Vinny, Vincent, Vin, whatever you want to call him, monster on that play, making a great play in the backfield off the edge there. And this is another kid, another senior, 6'2", 215. Your defensive end is 215 pounds. This is high school football, people.
Here we go, third down. We'll call it 8 here. Got to get to the 30-yard line. And we won't get the snap off before the end of the quarter. Scoreless. Got a good one going from Echo Park here. This is the Post Preps Game of the Week presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
Want to be part of the next Post Preps TV broadcast? Pull out those phones. If you've got video of an amazing high school sports highlight, we want to see it. Send it to us and you could be featured in the Social Spotlight segment of Post Preps TV. Tweet it to us at Post Preps or at Kyle Newman DP, or send us a message on our Facebook page. Your clip might make the cut and be featured on the next episode of Post Preps TV. Colorado's news, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7, denverpost.com/DPTV. Don't want to miss any of our Post Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
Ready to go second quarter here. We're down in Parker. Beautiful night for football and matchup of the Mount Evans Conference. Rock Canyon, home game for them. So Rock Canyon cheerleaders down in front of us. Chaparral fans on the other side, and no score. Got a bit of a defensive barn burner
I'm
going.
loving this. I'm loving this. By the way, the other thing I'm loving, the pink pom-poms by the girls from Breast Awareness Week. Gotta love that. But again, defense, both ends. We'll see if we can finally get some fireworks here in the second. But if not, I'm fine with that as well, Cory.
Third down and 8 here for Connor Ruth. Ruth in the shotgun, looking to the right side, and fires it. Picked off. Picked off. He was looking for Horn there, and Zach Wilson, his second interception of the night.
But this kid is slowly becoming the player of the game right now. I know it's way too early to throw that designation out there, but anytime you can get 2 turnovers from one kid, I mean, that's huge. But we talked about Mullen picking that chest up when he throws the ball to try to get the ball up. I would almost say the exact opposite for what we've seen from Connor Ruth. He's got to bring that arm down, throw that pinky down to the ground, and what that'll do is that'll bring that ball down a little bit because he's been sailing him a little bit over the wide receiver's head. So we'll see if maybe they make an adjustment to his posture when he gets ready to throw the football.
Best field position of the night so far. They're at the Shap 40-yard line. So here we go. A little play action there. They will hand that off up the middle. You indeed were right. I don't think it's number 7. I think that, well, I guess it could be a number 7. I don't have a number 7 on the roster, unfortunately.
I don't either, so I don't know if there was maybe a jersey ripped or something, but this looks like a different kid out there that we've got at quarterback. We'll have to get with our guys in the booth here and see if we can't figure out who that is. But, I mean, we got a new quarterback in there. Mullen was struggling, and it looked like Coach Tinker decided to make a change.
Well, so far so good, and we'll have to see here both sides moving around. Did somebody go into the neutral zone first?
My guess is this was a kid that was probably playing a different position, and they switched jerseys so he would be eligible.
Yeah. Well, it is encroachment, so somebody got into the neutral zone. All that movement up there, I was guessing. Again, a lot of guys moving around, though, but it'll bring up second down and short here.
And it looks like, it kind of peeked at the replay over there, it kind of looked like Hoops was the guy that jumped out over there. So Hoops, that big nose tackle that we talked about, yes, you're eating up space, but you can't give up yards on the other end of that thing.
All right, Rock Canyon driving here early in the second quarter. A 2nd and 3 coming. Trouble coming, gets away from Hoops, now dumps it out over the middle. It's caught there. That is Garrison, and whoop, Garrison lost the football, had the whistle blown. They're going to mark it down as a turnover.
Wow, big change of events there. We'll have to take a look at the replay to see exactly what happened there. But Brian Todd is the quarterback that's in there, number 7. He was previously wearing number 12. Great job by our guys in the booth here to figure out who that was. But Brian Todd making the toss there, and Chaparral coming up with the big turnover. Got it ripped out of there, and Chaparral is going to be first and 10 heading the other direction. So we've seen a couple of turnovers early. We've seen some stout play from both front sevens. I wonder now, if you're Coach Dobbs, do you start taking some chances here? And it looks like we have a quarterback change for Chaparral with Peyton Ross back under
there.
center.
Hey, anything we can do, you can do, we can do better, I think. Ross, handoff, going absolutely nowhere. Boy, big 5'3" jumping in there on the tackle. And that's Griffin Cahey. Cahey, the senior.
Goodness. 6'8", 265 pounds. I'm pretty sure I saw him in the parking lot and he transformed into this. I think he was a transformer previously. My goodness, do you see the size of this kid? No wonder he was able to get those big paws on the running back.
Boy, oh boy. Shadow of the goalpost there, pretty good. Ross going to keep this one.
He's going to
rolling.
Run.
Yeah, a lot of real estate there. Get what he can. Runs out at about the 22-yard line. Nice pickup, and boy, speed kills, doesn't it?
Well, I think both coaches said, okay, our quarterbacks, they're a little shaken. Maybe they're not prepared for this right now. We've got to make a change to try and get some chunk plays out of this, and that's exactly what you got from Peyton Ross. Now, the best part about this for Chaparral, you have a kid that's played quarterback for you the last 2 weeks in Peyton Ross, so this is nothing unfamiliar or uncomfortable for him, and this is the similar type of offense that they ran when he was there a couple weeks ago.
All right, first down and 10, got to the 23-yard line. Going to give it to Lewis now. Carnell Lewis bounce to the outside and make his way up for about 5 yards that time. Hoffmeister for Rock Canyon in on the tackle.
Well, and I found out from a little birdie that number 5 and number 1, Tizell Lewis and Carnell Lewis, are brothers. Did not know that, but what you see there, they both have that sweet feet. They both like to run. They both got some decent speed on them, so have those two weapons on your offense means a lot.
Lewis got 4 that time. Here we go. Looking for more, and he gets creamed. Shooting the gap. Big tackle there, number 45, Trevor Williams.
Trevor Williams sneaking in there and making a play, the senior, number 45. He leads the team with tackles for loss. So nothing out of the ordinary that we're seeing there. So a great play, a kid that lives in the backfield. So some great play continued from Rock Canyon. We're starting to see some push a little bit from Chaparral, but now 3rd and long. So we'll see what Peyton Ross does here, a guy that's not necessarily a quarterback.
All right, is he going to put it up in the air, or are they just going to let people get out of the way? Got some time, still got time. Dancing around now, he will put it up in the air. Jump ball, mistimed jump. He was looking for Doug Wick, the senior down there, the big tight end. Double coverage, and he just kind of missed. In fact, everybody mistimed their jump on that one.
Well, I was just getting ready to say it looked like Wick did, but as I'm looking at the play again, they all 3 did in that possession. So actually, that was probably a good thing for Chaparral, because maybe one of those defenders could have timed it. Could have been a lot worse for them, but having the ability to punt it off. Still 0-0 here as the clock ticks.
All right, forcing a turnover with Chaparral. They were able to kind of get it out to about the 25-yard line, and low line drive kick here. Again, nobody's going to be able to get to it. That's not bad. Down to about the 36-yard line on the punt.
30 yards, Corey.
Yep.
30 yards. That was a 28-yard flip right there. That's exactly what you want if you're a high school coach. You're not going to have that big foot from special teams, although, as you poignantly pointed out earlier, these special teams have done pretty well for both teams, and usually that always coincides with good defense. When you have a good defense and good special teams, that can keep you in just about any game. So both of these teams, good defense, good special teams, it's no surprise we got a 0-0 game here in the second.
All right, it's going to be Brian Todd again, the junior, there at quarterback. Each team has gone to a different quarterback now. Handoff, going to go to Avery that time around. Looking for a little bit of room. Boy, there's just not a lot there. That is big beef up front.
But I see what Coach Tinker may be doing here. the very first time we've seen some read option. We saw a mesh there between the quarterback and the running back. Don't be surprised. This kid looks athletic here, this Brian Todd. We haven't seen a whole lot out of him, but 6'1", 165. Looks like he might be able to run a little bit. Don't be surprised if he keeps that the next time and tries to get outside.
That was Nick Neiman, by the way, on the carry. Avery's back in there now at the tailback spot, so to speak. He's on the left hip of Todd. Todd back to pass. Rush coming. He could feel it. Going to step up and whoop! Might have lost the football here. Well, they haven't blown the whistle yet. Now they finally do. He's got a little bit rough there and scooped up by Avery. Todd lost the football, but they're going to spot it about the 35-yard line.
Well, as you're seeing here on the replay, great play by Avery there to get his hands on the ball. Johnny on the spot, because that would have been the first time that we had one of these teams in the opposing side of the 50. So both of these teams have been playing that field possession game, so even that play by itself is huge for Rock Canyon. Don't want to lose the yards there, but you hang on to the possession.
Right place, right time, I guess. They're down in 12 coming up here. 7.5 minutes to go in this first half. Still no score. What was the score of the game last year?
52-32 Chaparral.
Man.
That's what we saw last
84 points, and here we are. We're almost halfway through the game. I know we still got about 7.5 minutes. This is fun to watch, though. These two defenses forcing turnovers. Oh, and a defensive holding, so now you're pushing it a little closer to the midfield here for Rock Canyon.
Well, and as we saw there in the bottom of the screen in the shot that these guys had here in the booth, by the way, great camera work out there to see that spot down there on the bottom. The referee giving a nice little talking to Lewis there. I think Lewis and he were going back and forth about whether that was a penalty or not, so let's see if he'll change anything defensively.
Hard count, potentially. I see Todd clapping the hands a little bit.
Looked like Chase Gallegos, big number 64, jumped the gun there.
He fired off. That is an encroachment, so well, first down now, moving the chain.
That's the third encroachment that we've seen. So what that means to me is that's not by accident. That's something that Coach Tinker is doing to see, you know, anytime you're going against a stout front seven and a front seven that likes to get off the ball, you want to use that against them. It's almost that judo kind of thing. You want them to come at you and then you can counter. So the counter is the hard count right now, and it's been working.
Todd's up under center. I set behind him. Avery's at the fullback spot. That's not who's going to get it. It'll be Neiman, but he's only got about a yard there. He's submarined by Philip Green.
Wow, Neiman trying the Le'Veon Bell route there, and complete stop in the backfield there before he makes a move. Still able to pick up maybe a half a yard, but
yeah.
But complete stop in the backfield. And the one thing that you always tell your running backs is never, ever, ever stop your feet. Your feet should be moving at all times, and I'm sure he'll hear that from the coach coming up pretty soon here.
Second down, call it 9.5, because you're right, a half yard is maybe even generous here. Neiman now turns, wants to go back the other way, and there is no room to go, and hoops right on it.
My goodness, that is not the kid you want to see in a dark alley. I'm pretty sure if we're walking out in the parking lot tonight, I'm just going to hand him my wallet. I don't want anything to do with that kid. That's a big boy, and I guarantee you the ball carrier felt it for Rock Canyon.
Well, you see Hoops off the field. He plays both ways here, so now on 3rd and long, you can switch your defense out, get your faster guys in there, knowing that you're going to pin your ears back.
Absolutely, and that's a great call there, Cory. And as you say that, we've got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage here, so we're going to see if they're going to bring the pressure or somebody's going to drop out.
Somebody got into the neutral zone here before that thing was even snapped. Chaparral has had 3 penalties on this drive.
Wow. And that is the 4th penalty coming from the defensive line for Chaparral. The defensive line coach, if he has hair, is losing it very rapidly.
Well, and now you got to put your big boys back in there.
And as we take a look at the shot there, you can see the coaches talking to these guys. They're like, come on, fellas. The ball is right in front of you. And as a former defensive line coach, that's why I barely have any hair. The ball is right in front of you, fellas. Watch the ball.
3rd down and a timeout here. We'll take a break. Post Preps Game of the Week is presented by American Furniture Warehouse. No score, still in the 2nd quarter.
showrooms, and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com, and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere.
Have you checked the latest Colorado Preps Power Rankings? They're released weekly at denverpost.com/preps. Again, that's denverpost.com/preps.
I didn't get a chance to walk around here and see if Kyle Newman is hanging around. Is he here tonight? Oh, he is. That's right. Matching up the Fruita Monument and Stanley Lake.
That's
hanging out
game.
up north, yeah.
Big game in the 4A ranks there, or 3A.
Follow
4A,
along here as you watch us here. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you share it with your friends. We'll take a like as well, but share it. And you can comment to us as well. We'd appreciate it. Great game going here, and another timeout called. Ball clearance means that American Furniture Warehouse is going to move toward the holiday season. They need to make room for the new inventory arriving daily. Stop in and see them at their one of their 14 locations. Check them out, afw.com.
Well, and guys, my whole goal tonight is to see if I can talk Cory into fitting me with an ottoman that I need for my couch. So I'll try and work on that during the telecast here, maybe off the air, so I don't sound pitiful on the air. But Cory, I would look a lot better in my apartment with a nice ottoman from American Furniture Warehouse.
Kick your feet up on it there.
Yes, sir.
They got the lights going on the other side there.
Always trips me out.
Chap fans trying to get the Chaparral defense. Get after it here. Stay on their side of the football, too. 3 penalties here on this drive has kept things alive for Rock Canyon. And
looks like a reverse of fortune that time.
Yeah, Brian Todd was head bobbing a little bit there, too. They were really trying to call it. Now, they didn't name a number, and of course, we can't hear the mic kind of intermittent. But you wonder, the little head bob there, see if you could draw the defense.
And I can tell you that's exactly what that was. Great observation there, Cory. Sometimes that hard count can backfire because that offensive line knows, okay, I've got a leg up because I know when the ball's being snapped, but maybe I want that little half a step. They've been getting Chaparral on it, and it finally backfired on them.
All right, we are back to 3rd and 10 here. Todd looking up top, and a flag will come out on the cut. Halpin, the intended receiver here, he got tangled up.
That's going to be holding on Lewis there. Saw it right off the bat. We may be able to get it here if we got some time. There it is, and down on the bottom of your screen right there at the 50, there's the hold. You see him kind of grab him with that right hand there and get a fistful of jersey. And this is the same kid that was just talking to the referee about his play with his hands at the line of scrimmage, and we saw it again. Wide receiver gets past him. Lewis gets desperate, makes a desperation play, reaching out for that jersey.
When you see the shoulder pads turn completely to the side, that's a bad thing.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a bad thing if you're on defense. Put it that way.
I don't think Coach Dobbs has, Coach Tinker has any problems with that. And this may be the first time, I may stand corrected here by Cory, but I believe this will be the first time that Rock Canyon is into Chaparral territory this game.
After the fumble, I'm going to say second time. Rock
Second
Canyon.
time.
But then remember, they fumbled on that pass.
That's right. So
after the catch and the run, and Chap was able to force the first turnover by Rock Canyon.
Either way, few and far between to get this kind of yardage into enemy territory. So this is where it starts to get interesting, because if you're Coach Tinker here, you want to be a little bit conservative because you don't want to waste this field position, but you've also known that you only got 5 minutes left in this half. This might be the best field position you've had all in the first half besides that first drive with the fumble. Now, this is your opportunity if you're Rock Canyon. You got to put some points on the board. In a defensive game like this, you have to seize your opportunities.
We'll see if the Wolverines going to roll the dice here. Maybe roll a blitz in. We'll see. kind of cluttered and mucked up defensively. Now they're all set. Todd looking to the left. He's flushed out of that pocket now on the run. Fires it out there. Oh, and it's caught right down near the 20-yard line, and Garrison will come away with it. On Doug Wick, but that's a mismatch. Receiver going up against Big 84.
Well, and that's that three-headed monster that we talked about at wide receiver. Halpin's had some catches. Garrison's had some catches. Haven't seen a whole lot of Romero yet, but make sure you keep your eye out for 13. But a great catch there. Those are hard catches out there on the boundary when you got a guy right on your back. So a great catch there and able to turn it upfield and get a couple extra yards.
How about the right-hander running to the left and getting the ball to him?
One of the hardest things to do in football.
Pretty good by Brian Todd there, the junior quarterback who has taken over for Adam Mullen. 2nd down and 6. He's still got that football, and he's in a little bit of trouble now and tries to throw it as he's hit. And there is nobody in a black jersey out there. Here it comes.
It is. Yep. You called it there, Cory. It looked like it was going to be intentional grounding, and it's going to be.
Well, and again, we have to explain to people, playing high school federation rules. This is not pro football where, yes, he was outside of the tackle box. It doesn't matter. Nope. You have to find a receiver in high school football.
Yes, and trying, and just for eyeball's sake, you want to try and get it back close to the line of scrimmage like you do in the program.
Yeah.
If you're 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage and nobody's there, it could be bad.
I can make that call. I can throw the flag from here.
Oh, give yourself more credit than that. Come on, Cory. But a huge setback now. As you see, we can barely see the yard markers in the shot that the guys have here, the wonderful cameraman that we have here for Post Preps. You can barely see it up there in the top right-hand corner. So you're looking at a 2nd and 27. So if you're in this position, if you're Coach Tinker, you just lost that field position. Right now on 2nd down, you want to try and cut it in half. If you can get it to a 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 11, you're going to feel a lot better on 3rd down.
Add to it, they lost it down on an intentional grounding too. So yes, 2nd down here instead of 1st down. Setting up that middle screen. They did indeed find it. Caught by Avery. So he'll take it down. Nice way to get back that chunk of yardage there. In on the tackle, Dietz and Martinez.
Well, and that's just what we spoke about. We just talked about trying to cut the chains in half, cut that down in distance in half. Now you've got at least a manageable 3rd down situation, and you're not looking at a 3rd and 27. You're still looking at a 3rd and 7 here, or 17, excuse me, but it's a little bit more manageable. Maybe depending on what their kicking game looks like, and so far special teams have been good. And actually that's what we're going to see here. It looks like they didn't change the yard marker, so now it is 4th down, not 3rd down.
Okay, I wondered about that. This will be a 51-yard attempt, and it will go nowhere. It is blocked and scooped up. That's Philip Green down the sideline, still on his feet, and finally tackled it at the 23-yard line. Boy, did that turn around and blow in your face.
Boy, oh boy. I don't know about that call. Coach Tinker's had it top to bottom the entire game, but that one, boy, that's a tough one. Because when you have a long field goal at any level, not even just high school, you have to lower that trajectory a little bit in order to get enough leg in there to try and make it. And a lot of times when you're kicking from that kind of distance, the ball is so low it gives the defense and special teams defensively a better shot at getting the block, and that's exactly what we saw. Johnny on the spot there, Philip Green, the senior, coming up with that ball and changing this game completely on one play.
Both teams turned the ball over twice now. Ross is still in at quarterback. Looking for some room. Oh, he'll bounce off the tackle. To the outside he goes. And down to the 5-yard line. Eventually fell forward. Stopped Kazi, I believe. How it's pronounced. At least that's the way it looks on the roster.
Well, and I'm
going to fall on top of him, but really he was diving forward.
Well, and a nice play there. I'm going to bring up a name that Colorado natives should know pretty well. Cordell Stewart comes to mind, Cory, when I think about what Peyton Ross is able to do, the multiple ways that they can use him, and the athlete that he is, making plays for Chaparral.
18 yards on the pickup there, and a timeout going to be called. I think Rock Canyon trying to get settled in here. We'll take the break with them. 3:50 to go in the first half. No score, but Chap is knocking on the door. It's the Post Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
The Broncos quarterback situation. Did you see that triple-double Nikola Jokic put up? And how about that walk-off home run at Coors Field last night? I'm Alexis Perry, and I've got all of those stories and more right here with the Denver Post Sports Minute. Stay up to date with the Broncos, Rockies, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rapids, and even college sports. You're busy, we get it. That's why the quick-hitting Denver Post Sports Minute is so easy to find. Just go to denverpost.com/video or like us on Facebook to have the Sports Minute on your newsfeed each and every day. Wherever you are, whenever you want it, watch the Denver Post Sports Minute 20.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Okay, Wolverines knocking on the door here. No score, but that could change. 1st and goal. Handoff, Ross, give it off to Lewis. Spins down to about the 2.5-yard line as Ryan Fichtner got a hold of him and then got a little bit of help from Trevor Williams.
Well, and Cory, when you watch the Chaparral offense, they're all about the same size. They're all wearing single digits, and they all move the same. They're all shifty between Ross and Lewis, and then you get a little bit more power with some of these other backs that are in there, especially number 25 that you're seeing in there, Tristan Dietz. Got a bigger guy there in the backfield. They may be trying to power this in, but don't be surprised if maybe we see a play action and a tight end in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, Ross is still your quarterback here. They are going to go to Dietz. Dietz tries to bounce to the outside. He's going to lose a couple yards. One of the first ones in there is Searchy, or well, and a flag out here.
Chop block.
Oh, boy. Well, you were knocking on the door, but that door's getting farther away now.
Boy, it seems like every time one of these teams makes a move, they send a step on their stub their own toe.
Vinny Kirchie, by the way, is on the tackle there. One of the first ones through, but this thing is going backwards on Chaparral.
Chop block, that should be 15 yards. That's a personal foul.
Well done, my friend.
Big penalty. Big penalty. That's going to take in. And the biggest thing to remember here, they are a goal to go.
Yeah.
You don't get another set of downs here. So now it's 2nd and goal. So now you're looking at almost an 18-yard down and distance here. So not that far away from the 27 and 17 that we saw from Rat Canyon not too long ago.
Yeah, they're in about the same position here. Ross up under center. I set behind him now. Dietz still back to the play action to Dietz. Ross will keep it. And now just looking to make something happen. Look at the end zone, nothing's there. And he's going to go with his feet. Will lower the shoulder, get to about the 13-yard line.
It's starting to get a little chippy out there, and that's what you see in these defensive games. A lot of pounding, a lot of big hits, a lot of collisions, a lot of physical play, and eventually, you might slip a little thing in there if the ref's not around, maybe just to let them know what's on your mind. But Peyton Ross, and that's why that play was so huge. He actually ran for about 25 yards, but it only ends up being about a 5-yard pickup, 4 or 5 yard pickup.
Yeah.
So the fact that you had that huge penalty, now you're still at a 3rd and long, even though it's goal to go.
All right, they're on the 14 here. Shotgun time for Ross. He will fire it over the middle. It's caught near the 5-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and goal from the 5. He found Horn down there. Pretty good coverage, though. Draped all over him was Zach Wilson.
Well, and having watched film on Peyton Ross the last couple of weeks, that's one of the better balls that I've seen him throw from the quarterback position. That was actually a little bit behind his receiver, but hey, he put it on his body and gave the wide receiver a chance to come down with that catch. So a good ball there by Ross. Still not in the end zone, but trying to put points up.
21-yard field goal attempt here. The right-footed kicker will split the uprights, and the first points are up on the board. Well, you take what you can get when nobody's scoring anything. That's a big field goal from 21 yards out, makes it 3-0. 2:04 to go here, first half. Chap takes the lead on Rock Canyon. It's the Post Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
With the largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Give credit to Ben Kearney. See, I'm from Nebraska, so I want to say Kearney, but I believe it's Kearney is how it's pronounced. So I'm just going to go with that. If you don't mind, D.
Hey, just gonna potato, Cory.
All right.
It's all football.
21-yard field goal. So far, he's in the lead for the American Furniture Warehouse player of the game because it's the only points that are up on the board here. Nice return up to near the 39-yard line for Rock Canyon. That's Jack Ramsey, the sophomore. He's done a nice job with the return game.
Man, nice tough run there. And the funny part about that, Jack Ramsey, 6'1", 160, a sophomore, listed as a quarterback. A quarterback running like that, you gotta love it. So now, if you're Rock Canyon, you took a shot there, and you made a great point not too long ago there, Cory, about the fact that when you're in these type of games, you have to try and take any points that you can get. Obviously, Coach Tinker had a lot of faith in his kicker to try a 51-yarder. Generally, you're not going to see 50-plus yarders in the high school level, but taking a shot there, understanding the way that this game is going, trying to take any shot at points that he can. But now, 1:57 left on the clock. You've got a new quarterback in there. Do you start to try and take some shots here, or are you going to try and matriculate the ball down the field and maybe get into field goal range to tie it before halftime?
Keep in mind, both teams have turned the ball over twice here, and the latest leading to a field goal. They're going to keep it on the ground. Avery kind of finished off there after being stood up. I saw big Jacob Stanton come flying through there. Give credit, though, to Chase Gallegos, one of the first guys to stand Avery up.
And what we've been seeing from this Chaparral defense has just been flashes of white trimmed with red and blue. I mean, these guys in
like
that front seven flying all over the place. And some great play continued for that Chaparral front five and the front seven complete.
I think to answer your question, Rock Canyon's got all three timeouts. They let the clock run here a little bit because of that field position, although it wasn't bad to start at the 39-yard line. Setting up the screen, Horn, he's able to scoop that one up and be taken down about the 44-yard line.
I'm pretty sure I dropped a quarter down there around the 45-yard line. Maybe he can find it for me when he gets done catching the ball there.
Wow.
Excuse me, the 40-yard line there, but a great catch off of the shoe tops, as we like to say, and able to not only make a concentrated catch there, but to have the wherewithal to get up and continue to run.
Got about 4 yards out of it. Nick Neiman, by the way, that scooped that one up. Todd has to step up, now fires off that back foot. It's a first down out there near the 40-yard line. Ramsey got loose.
Well, Ramsey kind of coming into his own right now. A great return to set him up with some good field position. And now a good catch on the outside there. But more importantly, the ball thrown by Brian Todd, as we see here on the replay, right on that outside shoulder, on time, exactly where you want to throw that. And then the smartest thing of the whole play is being able to get out of bounds by Jack Ramsey and save some of that clock. And as you said, you see down at the bottom of the screen, still 3 timeouts.
16 yards on the pass and catch. Got to get enough people up on the line. They do indeed have it now as Garrison will step up there. Todd looking off his back foot again, and the ball is rudely from Mitch Mullen there with the big hit.
Mullen getting banged up there, but I'll be honest with you, you're Rock Canyon, you almost would rather that just for the simple fact that the clock's not running. You save some clock there. You still got 3 timeouts, which means that you could still go over the middle of the field. What I'm waiting on is I have yet to see a tight end pop or something big over the middle of the field. We've seen some good boundary play. I wish one of these coaches would try and test the safety play from either defense.
Garrett Lowery, by the way, is the one that separated the ball there from the receiver, and Mitch Mullen. Post Preps Game of the Week is presented by AFW, and you can come by and check out vast in-stock selection of accent chairs and recliners, perfect addition to any living space. Whether you need additional seating or just a pop of color, we have exactly what you're looking for at affordable prices at American Furniture Warehouse.
Or an ottoman.
I'm just going to throw that in there. I'm sure they have an ottoman.
Preferably gray and black, which matches my couch that I actually got from American Furniture Warehouse.
Half of my house is American Furniture Warehouse.
I think half of everybody's house in Colorado.
At the very least. All right, second down to 10. You see only 32 seconds left here, but they are in Shap territory at the 40. Todd in trouble now, picks his way through, sets his feet, fires, and a catch made. Garrison will come down with it. Giselle Lewis was all over him, but a nice catch. And a timeout to stop things with about 25 seconds left on the clock.
And it looks like Coach Tinker is probably going to elect to take that 30-second timeout. He just wants to stop the clock there, but a great step up, and then the ability to, and one of the hardest things, I'll cut myself off there, Cory, but one of the hardest things for a young quarterback to do is to not only have the pocket presence and have pressure around you, but to keep your eyes downfield. That is the hardest thing, because generally for anybody, if you're getting chased by a bear, okay,
right,
you're putting your head down and you're running. And when these young quarterbacks get into a situation where they feel that pressure on the back of their neck, their first instinct is, I have to get out of here. The quarterbacks that end up being very good quarterbacks are the ones that can stop themselves and say, hey, I've got a better chance to get yards if I give it to one of my skill players than I do maybe running with my own feet.
We know that Rock Canyon does have a field goal kicker that they don't mind sending him out there for distance, but do you try it again? You got blocked, and Shap took it all the way down. They turned it into a field goal themselves.
Well, I think it really comes down to this third down play. If you can get a first down, that changes everything. But if you can't, maybe they take another shot.
Todd looking to the left side. He will fire it up there, and it's caught. Ramsey, the DB fell down, and it's a touchdown for Rock Canyon.
Ramsey. Maybe he had to change his name to Jack Rambo. He's missing everything but the red bandana tied across his forehead right now. Becoming the player of the game right now. He's in the game on special teams. The clutch catches as we take a look here on the replay, the falling of the DB there to allow safe passage for Ramsey to sneak into the end zone. Big play for Rock Canyon.
The extra point up and good, and it's a 7-3 lead.
Wow. We may and you know, I like to give nicknames. We may have to call him Gordon Ramsay, because he was serving Chaparral a hefty helping of some, I'm going to get into this end zone. Great play there by Ramsey to get into the end zone, but again, a good pass, even though a little wobbly, not exactly on time, but he gave his wide receiver a chance to make a play. And in this high school level, that's all you can ask if you're Coach Tinker, is to say, hey, Brian Todd, you've come in, you've interjected some energy into this offense for our team. Now you get the big score here right before halftime. Chaparral, I'm guessing, with the way that they've been offensively, they've had to run a little bit more than they've had to pass. I would expect Coach Dobbs here to be okay being down 4 points, not being down in general, but only being down one score here before halftime. Not a lot to do there with 17 seconds and no timeouts.
6 plays, 61 yards, a minute 47 off the clock, and Brian Todd to Jack Ramsey's 34 yards. Reichert will kick this one away. Squib kick, angling to the sideline. It did.
Uh-oh.
Did it bound out?
It did. That ball went out of bounds. That's the last thing you want if you're Rock Canyon right now. The only good thing that you have in your corner right now is Chaparral has no timeout. So, but in high school football, clock stops after a first down. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Dobbs here. Do you take a shot? Maybe try and get yourself back into field goal range. You've got a kicker that's already hit one. Maybe going into halftime down by 1 makes you feel a little bit better than going down by 4.
Yeah. Well, they'll take it at the 35-yard line because that ball went out of bounds here. So here comes Chaparral, and it's going to continue to be the senior Peyton Ross at quarterback.
Well, and realistically, you'd have to pick up about at least 35 yards here, but it looks like they may be kneeling this and going to halftime.
Yep, take the snap, kneel down, call it good. Shap took the lead with a 21-yard field goal, but in less than 2 minutes, Rock Canyon struck and got a touchdown. That's where we sit at the half, 7-3. Jags up on the Wolverines. It's the Post Preps Game of the Week, presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
With the largest showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere, anytime.
Don't want to miss any of our Post Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
There comes a time in every athlete's life when their participation in sports is coming to an end, and so officiating is a way to stay involved.
The day I started officiating is just as fun as now.
When I'm officiating, making decisions, a decision that's instantaneous, for me there's no greater feeling.
I became an official because I wanted to give back.
Get off the couch and get into the game.
Become an official.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American Furniture Warehouse.
Get the Denver Post Preps coverage delivered to your inbox. Sign up for newsletters at denverpost.com/alerts.
Just not that often.
Christian.
Please welcome the Rock Canyon High School Marching Band under the direction of Zachary Fruits. The band would like to thank and welcome members of the Rocky Heights Middle School Band who joined us today in the stands. The RCHS Marching Band program entitled Postcards from the Centennial State includes Race Hours in the Front Range and the Great Divide. Rock Canyon High School is proud to present drum majors Riley Bush and Alyssa Clark in the Rock Canyon High School Marching Band. Birdsall and Michael Bowles. The band would like to thank parents and administration for their unflinching love and support of performing arts at RCHS. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rock Canyon High School Marching Band.
I never got to see that. Trying to get out of the wind for a minute.
Delano Christie, veteran workers, has been selling real estate in our community for 25 years. She has two sons who play football for Rock Canyon. Her family has a long history of football players spanning over decades. She and her real estate team of Delano Properties are proud sponsors of the RCHS football program. If you have any real estate needs, call the neighborhood expert, Samantha Delano Christie. 2017 Rock Canyon Spirit Teams are playing for popular sponsors. Lauren and Carrie Swaller. McDonald Automotive. My Gym Children's Fitness Center. Sleep Studios, LLC. The Vita family. Vanguard Inflatables. Vision Photography. Winter Park Escapes. Creating Financial Solutions. The DeMarte family. Carmel Brown Hansen. Root family. Tool Nation. And Marceller family. We are Pamela Williams and Melissa Lewis, a mother-daughter realty team with Metro Brokerage Realty Oasis. We are proud to have sponsored Rockingham Football Club for the past 4 years. We live in the community and between us have over 25 years of real estate experience. If you have an opportunity to help you buy or sell a home, you will get unparalleled service. Go Jaguars! Get time for RC football. Program opens our youth and families from local feeder schools. From Buffalo Woods Elementary, Peter Trail Elementary, Wild Path Elementary, Westfield Elementary, and Rocky Heights Middle School. Enjoy the game and go Jags!
Showrooms and best selection, today's American Furniture Warehouse has something for everyone. We carry hundreds of accent chairs, stools, and recliners at prices that you've come to expect from American. If you haven't been to one of our 14 locations in Colorado or Arizona, come in and take a look. Or shop online at afw.com and we'll white glove deliver into your home and set it up for you. American Furniture Warehouse, the lowest prices anywhere, anytime.
Ready to come out of halftime here. Hey, coming up for you. Look at there. A couple more games left. We're in week 8, week 9, and week 10. Looks pretty good, doesn't it, D?
Oh, man. We're so close to the playoffs. I can taste it. It's right there. It's tangible. It's something that's right in front of us. These teams feel it. The teams left on this schedule feel it. I can guarantee you that. I'm excited for the end of this football season.
Kickoff to start things up. Whoop. The officials were not ready for that kickoff there. We'll do this one over.
Well, as anxious as I am for this game and the next couple of weeks in the playoffs, apparently Rock Canyon was a little anxious on that kick there. And actually, they are going to penalize him, it looks like.
Walk-a-back 5 here.
Yeah, it looks like one of the kickoff team members got a little overzealous there. Cost him 5 yards.
Okay, so we'll do this one again. 7-3, Rock Canyon with the lead. The Brian Todd to Jack Ramsey 34-yard touchdown pass. That's the difference right now. By the way, we have to choose a player of the game presented by American Furniture Warehouse. We'll do that at the end of the game. Come fall into savings during our fall clearance event, only at American Furniture Warehouse. Go to afw.com.
All right, now if you're Chaparral, you want to try and get things going there. You got down very late with 17 seconds left there before halftime. We'll see what they do offensively.
Riker to put the foot to the ball here, and a bounding ball scooped up by the big man up front. How about that? Up man scoops it up, takes it to the 44-yard line, and that's not just any up man. Nick Miles is a tight end, so your up guys, kind of your hands team, they're not just going to fall on it.
As a former tight end, I got to give some love there. That was a great catch. That ball came at him very quickly, able to get his hands on it, curtail that thing, and get upfield. That's what you want from your upbacks. If you guys get the ball there, make sure you get a couple yards, secure the football, and get down and let your offense take advantage of that great field position.
Saw a change in quarterbacks for both teams, and it's going to stay that way. Peyton Ross, the senior, will stay at quarterback for the Wolverines here. Starting from their own 44-yard line, pitch it out on the run. That's Lewis. Darnell Lewis crossed the 50-yard line to about the 47 there. Nice job of setting the edge. We saw a little bit of this in the first half. Finished off by Trevor Williams. But again, both teams early on just quick hitters. And that one just put the foot in the ground, and Lewis with a nice pickup. Gain to the 48-yard line, a gain of about 8 yards here, so 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun, Ross in trouble here. Thought maybe they were setting up the screen, and now as he will fire it downfield, it is incomplete. Defender arrived about the same time the ball did, looking for Doug Wick here on the near sideline.
Doug Wick, a tight end as we like to call him, but according to Chaparral, he is a tiger. That is the tiger position. That's what they call their tight end position. And I believe they do that because they like to move him like an H-back. And it's always fun to name the positions names. The kids love it. And the coaches, it allows them to make it more clear to their players exactly what their role is. So the tiger tight end not able to reel that in on the last play.
Took a shot on 2nd and short. Whoop! Ross dropped the football, got a stiff arm and the first down. Headed down the sideline, finally pushed out by Caleb Hefner. Otherwise, Ross is in for a touchdown.
Peyton Ross, I told you, I'm going to start calling him Slash. I'm thinking maybe Slash 2.0. That's what we may end up calling him tonight. But again, making something out of nothing. When life gives you lemons, make a chocolate cake. That's exactly what we saw Peyton Ross do there. Great play from him.
Best run by Ross all night, and it came on a botched play where he dropped the football, got 13 yards out of it.
And that's why you have him in there quarterback, because you want that guy, whoever's under center, to touch the ball the most to make the most plays.
1st and 10 from the Rock Canyon 35-yard line now. Play action. Ross steps up, fires it, sliding catch at about the 20-yard line. That is Horn with the catch. He makes it in front of Hoffmeister.
Alec Horn, the senior wide receiver there. Again, we've seen some great catches off of the shoe tops again, right there, right? It's almost skimming the ground there. Some great catches that we've seen low. But Peyton Ross, again, folks, not a quarterback. He's doing this, and he is not a quarterback. That's how impressive it is.
Chains moving, 1st down and 10. Get it back to Lewis. Lewis puts the foot into the ground and heads north-south. Gets about 5 yards out of it there.
And this Rock Canyon front seven, we raved about them all the first half, and then now so far in this second half, showing some dents in the armor. Chaparral trying to find some spots here, and I think what the biggest reason why is because when Peyton Ross is in at quarterback, it takes the focus off of all the other skill players. You have to be focused on him, and it's hard to focus on the skill guys.
Zach Hanna on the tackle there, 2nd and 5 now. Ross got all day, now being flushed. Still on the run, keeping the eyes downfield, and now he will pump one to the back of the end zone, and it will fall incomplete. He was looking for Alec Horn. There were 3 black shirts in the area down there.
Now, as a coach, Cory, you love to see the athleticism. You love the fact that he can extend the play, but maybe do without the throw. I don't know, that just throwing it up for grabs there, anybody could have got that ball there. And I understand he's a young kid, he's a tough kid, he wants to make a play for his team, but sometimes in that 2nd and 5, now you're at a 3rd and 5. Maybe if you tried to run, you're looking at a 3rd and short instead of a 3rd and 5.
Hoffmeister, the one that actually broke it up for Rock Canyon here. Full house backfield, and Dietz will get the carry as he falls to near the 10-yard line.
Well, and Chaparral is an ace team. What that means, Cory, is you're going to have one wide receiver outside wide on either side, and then tight ends on the end of the line of scrimmage on either side. That is an ace set with a quarterback under center and a tailback behind them. What they did is they moved those 2 tight ends into the backfield, and that's how they came up with the full house offense. And you're seeing that look again right here. They bring the wide receivers in, tight look.
4th and short here. Dietz is hitting the backfield, still driving the legs, and now it's just a tug of war. I don't know if he got there.
That is number 3, Ryan Fletcher, the strong safety, the senior, coming down 5'11", 180, coming down and making the stick in the backfield. Huge play for Rock Canyon. You're kind of you're conserving that lead right now at 7-3, possibly forcing Chaparral to kick a field goal here. Now, if Oh, excuse me. No, that was a turnover on downs. I apologize. Now Rock Canyon with the ball. That was 4th and 1, I'm sorry, on the last play there. An even bigger play then for Fletcher in order to get the ball back to his offense.
So instead of going for the field goal, which again would still have left you behind, you put it on the big guys up front. They can't get it done, but now you're putting it on your defense.
Boy, I don't know. Not knowing that that was 4th down at the time when I watched the play, maybe you take the field goal there, but hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah. Boy, it is for me. Going for their own 11 now. Todd in trouble. Flush to the right, fires it. It'll be incomplete. He was looking for Mitch Mullen over on the right side. I'm impressed with both of these quarterbacks who did not start the game, both keeping their eyes downfield, even when you're tiptoeing along the goal line.
I hate to admit it, but we didn't even know who Brian Todd was due to a misfire on the roster there.
Yeah.
But this kid, Brian Todd, a junior, he's come in, he's been composed, he's made some good passes. But again, we see a flag. Rock Canyon stubbing their own toe here again, just making the huge turnover on downs, and then you're killing all that momentum with a big penalty here. Now 1st and 19 at your own 3-yard line.
Yeah, half the distance to the goal here. So that ball on about the 2.5-yard line. Oh boy, did Shap just cross the neutral zone?
That is the 5th penalty on the defensive line alone for Chaparral. They have got to get that fixed. And the problem is, it's the 2 interior defensive linemen. What's the closest thing to them, Cory? It is the football.
Yeah.
Fellas, just even if you have to turn your head and look at it and wait until that ball is gone, you cannot afford. You had just pinned them down at the 3-yard line. Now you give them a little bit of breathing room, and it's a more manageable 1st and 14 now instead of 19.
And more importantly, you are now 7 yards away from the goal line as opposed to being 2.5. All right, here we go. Brian Todd's got it and will hand it off. Not a lot there. Avery on the carry. Still running off the right side. Dietz is in the middle of that along with McClellan.
Dietz, great play there. Also McClellan, and then Chase Gallegos slipping in there. Another one of those big front 7 guys. They have not allowed the Rock Canyon running game to get started whatsoever. But I wonder now you're at 2nd and 12. I wonder if maybe you take a shot with your quarterback. Maybe run some read option here if you're Coach Tinker. Try and get Brian Todd outside on the edges. He's an athletic kid. See if you can't create some space here. And with the alignment between the quarterback and running back, we might just see that.
All right, line them up here, a 2nd and 12. Got to get to the 21 for a 1st down, but a timeout going to be called by Rock Canyon. We'll take it here, 8:25 to go. We're in the 3rd quarter. A tight one. Jags with the lead. The Post Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.
Post Preps Game of the Week here. 2nd and 12 upcoming. Looking at some scores. What tight one going at Mullen right now. 9-7 at the half. Mullen up by 2 points on Fairview, who we saw last week, our Post Preps Game of the Week. Little read option, and Avery's got himself a little room up to about the 18-yard line. He will carry his way forward. Jacob Stanton on the tackle.
Well, and I think this is what Coach Tinker was hoping for. If they can get those linebackers in that front 7 to start keying on the running back, I'm telling you, this kid, number 7, this new quarterback that we're seeing, Brian Todd, I know when the defense is last expecting it, he's going to pull that ball out of there, and it's going to be a huge gain. But right here on 3rd and 2, let's see what they do.
Spreading them out a little bit. Todd still in that pistol set. Back they go to Avery. He will fall to near the 30-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short. Dietz got him around the ankles.
And if you're Rock Canyon here, your defense has been playing good ball. You've got the lead. You're almost halfway through the third quarter here. Punt the ball away. You're too deep into your own side of the field. You got to punt this thing. Get it out of there. And again, we've been seeing some good punts from the punters here. So right now, we talked about 30 yards. They're at the 20-yard line. If this punt goes past the 50, that kid is doing his job.
It's not going to look like a Riley Dixon punt, mind you, for the Broncos. Whoa, it's blocked. It is blocked to the back of the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Chaparral. Oh, man, Riley Golden, the senior, will recover it.
My goodness gracious. The two biggest plays of the game so far tonight, minus the touchdown by Rock Canyon, have been special teams by Chaparral.
Yep.
That's 2 block kicks now, one for a almost 50-yard return, and on this one, a touchdown for Chaparral. Here is the replay, and you'll see it looks like Carnell Lewis, the running back, sneaking in there, or excuse me, Isaac Wilson, number 9, sneaking in there and getting a paw on it. Great play, heads up by Golden, touchdown Chaparral.
The extra point, up and good. Well, the plot thickens with 7:03 to go here in the third quarter. Chaparral has taken the lead back, 10-7. It's the Post Preps game of the week, presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
Want to be part of the next Post Preps TV broadcast? Pull out those phones. If you've got video of an amazing high school sports highlight, we want to see it. Send it to us and you could be featured in the social spotlight segment of Post Preps TV. Tweet it to us at Post Preps or at Kyle Newman DP, or send us a message on our Facebook page. Your clip might make the cut and be featured on the next episode of Post Preps TV. Colorado's news, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7, denverpost.com/DPTV.
Don't want to miss any of our Post Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
Post Preps game of the week presented by American Furniture Warehouse. Special teams. Blocked punt by Isaac Wilson. Riley Golden recovers in the end zone, and the Wolverines have got the lead back 10-7. Cory Lopez, D. White, D. Remember, Rock Canyon responded nicely after Shap put their first points up on the board here, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Rock Canyon's got a chance here at a return, maybe not, kicking that through the end zone. Rock Canyon here, I mean, they've been doing all the right things. Their defense has been playing well. Their special teams have been good, except for 2 plays that have changed the complete trajectory of this game for Rock Canyon. You take those 2 plays out of it, not only do they not have the touchdown that they just scored, but they probably don't have that field goal that they scored in the first half. This could be a 7-0 game for Rock Canyon if they had just not made those 2 mistakes on special teams. But however, none of that matters at this point because you still got a 1-possession game. This is a field goal game with 7 minutes left in the third. So if you're Rock Canyon, don't panic. Go back to what you've been doing. Try and run the football. And I'm still waiting on that keep from the quarterback through the read option.
Yeah, they haven't pulled it out of the belly yet, have they? All right, from their own 20, here we go. Avery's got it, little stutter step, got about a yard out of it essentially. Wilson in on it, and so is McClellan for Chaparral.
And something interesting on that last play, Rock Canyon had 6 offensive linemen in there. No tight end, but an unbalanced line. 4 offensive linemen to the right, including the center, and then 3 on the other side there, 2 on the other side. So the tight end was actually another tackle. So we'll see maybe if they come out in that look again, but it looks like that's how they've been getting that push up front. It looks like they will go away from it, but keep an eye on that for later on.
Just deciding to go heavy every once in a while. Interesting. Clock ticking down. We're in the third quarter here, and we're going to stop everything. Well, you can hear the wind really whipping down there. It's coming out of the south. Open-ended stadium here, so.
And it looks like the senior Cade Chapman might have been in the one that it looked like he was a little upset after that call. Might have been giving it away. It could have been him. But either way, this Rock Canyon offense has been stubbing their toe here recently.
Yeah, 2nd and 14 coming here. This time it's Neiman. Neiman slipping his way forward here. Got it back to near the original line of scrimmage. Wilson, Dietz, all up there along with Gallegos.
Well, and the other guy that was in the mix there, Cory, and he won't get any love because he wasn't in on the tackle, but he was the guy that forced it. Number 32, Garrett Lowery, the senior, the strong safety, came down, forced the issue, and made the running back cut back inside to where your help is. And if you're a safety or you're a corner and you're on the outside, that's what you're taught to do. Force everything back inside because that's where all your help is. Great job by Garrett there.
3rd down and 10. Pistol set again. Todd with the hard count, can't get him to jump. A little audible coming from the sideline anyway. Todd looking up top, and we'll throw it up and going up and getting it. That's our guy, Jack Ramsey.
This kid is slowly becoming the go-to guy offensively there. And as we take a look, like he's kind of coming up lame there a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Maybe a cramp trying to stretch it out there. But one thing I do want to point out on that replay there in the top right-hand corner, you saw Wick coming around that, screaming around that corner, and a good pass again by Brian Todd, the relief pitcher in this situation as the backup quarterback.
Up to about the 34-yard line. We'll give it to him here. Calls coming in from the sidelines now. We're getting a look at the defense. We weren't seeing this early on. They were going with what they were being given. Neiman looking for room around the right side, and there is no room. A lot of Wolverines to greet him.
Well, I've got bad news for Coach Tinker. I've figured it out, and I think Chaparral has too. Anytime number 8's been in the backfield, they've been running the football. And every single time he gets the ball, they've been stopping him in the backfield. So maybe that's your opportunity. If you've got number 8 back there, pull that ball out and let that quarterback run with it a little bit. They've got to try and switch this up. Now they're making some ground. They got a nice little drive going here, but you can't let it stall out because the defense is figuring you out.
Yeah, and you're off schedule now, 2nd and long, 11 yards. Trips in the bottom part of the screen, fires it out there, and behind his receiver. He had Garrison there, but that ball went whizzing behind him.
That is the pass we've been talking about all night. Why has nobody been hitting anybody over the middle of the field? It's wide open. We're seeing some cover too, and what that means is those 2 top safeties are backing out, and they have deep half, and what that means is it leaves the middle of the field to just your linebackers, and if you've got a mismatch on a linebacker in that slot area or over the middle of the field, that can be big problems for a defense, and I think Rock Canyon and Chaparral offensively have got to start taking advantage of that.
Going back to the same type of formation here. 3rd and 11. Todd's got it, looks to the right. Now he's going to throw it up top, looking for Ramsey, and he'll throw it out of bounds. Pretty good coverage that time by Peyton Ross. You're going to put Ross on Ramsey, aren't you?
I think we've heard of that guy before. Don't you think we've heard of that guy?
Yeah.
Wasn't he playing quarterback just a couple minutes ago?
Yep.
Returning punts, returning kicks. I mean, again, Ross, even though he wasn't the quarterback starting this game, has become the quarterback. But now, the best wide receiver for Rock Canyon, they realize it's Ramsey, and Ross is the guy that's been on him. And then again, he doesn't leave the field. And guess what? After he catches this punt, he's going to play quarterback.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Better be in good shape. You can bet Rock Canyon's going to try to punt this one away. It'll bound at the 50-yard line. Not a great punt that time, but would you rather it land there or land in the hands of Peyton Ross?
I'd rather it land there.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the few times you'll take a short punt over kicking it deep to whoever they've got back there, and that whoever is not a whoever. It's definitely a somebody, and that is Peyton Ross, who we're going to see at quarterback here. Now, if you're Chaparral, 10-7, 4 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter, this is an opportunity to get a nice, long, methodical, Hank Stram, matriculate the ball down the field type of drive if you're Chaparral right now.
17-yard punt, by the way. Ross, little wheel route. Oh, nearly picked off. Nifty play. Billy Kirchie.
Boy. Right now, defensively, Kirchie and Zach Wilson with 2 interceptions. They've been the MVPs defensively. Kirchie's been getting after the quarterback in a near interception there. Oh, my goodness. if his arms were about an inch or two longer, maybe he's able to reel that in. But either way, great recognition by him, getting upfield, seeing the quarterback getting ready to release, and dropping into that pass. Good play defensively.
All right, 2nd and 10 now. They're right at the 50 here. Ross pumps once, wants to run, and down he goes. Sacked back at the 40-yard line. The first one there was Kirchie again, and give credit to Stop Kasi, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Stop Kasi is how I'm going to roll with it.
I like
Stop
it.
Kasi, we're going to roll with that.
See, I thought it was a misspelling because I thought it was an S-K-I.
I believe so too, but
okay,
maybe.
All right.
Hey, it's their program. They did their own kid like that, so that's all right.
Here I was working on it in the car. Stop Koski.
Right.
But now there's no K.
Hey, you can call him whatever you want. The kid just got a sack and a great play defensively.
Huge play. Back at the 40-yard line now, 3rd and 20. Ross is tucking it and going with it. A little bit of speed and turns upfield and nearly got it back for a first down. How about that?
Well, let's take a look at the spot here. Are they going to give it to him? Looks like they are going to call him short. Boy, I thought he got around that corner as well. They're calling him a couple yards short. We can see it here on the replay.
It was very close. I'm shocked that he was able to get up there. Look at him just turn on the jets, and there was nobody on the near side of the field.
And they got it correct because the 40-yard line was the first down there. But if you think about it, Chaparral did this to themselves.
Yeah.
They were the ones that backed themselves up. If not, they're probably into Rock Canyon field position even deeper and making a play here, trying some trickery here on the punt.
4th and 4. You're kind of in that gray area here. Yep. They give it to the up back. Oh, ball's on the ground. It'll fumble forward. It's close. I don't think they got it, though. Ross will fall on top of it.
And also, as we know in Colorado high school football, you cannot fumble that ball forward unless it is recovered by the fumbling party.
Were you thinking about the holy roller?
I was thinking there, but actually, can we take a look at the replay here after the calls in here? But if you notice, they've got the punter trailing him. That's Ross. They were going to pitch it to him. That was an option play, and he pitched it way too late. That's why the ball came out. And the holy roller did kind of come into thought there, because I'm thinking, I'm pointing at the screen as me and Cory are looking at it, because I'm saying they might have got the first down there. But again, in high school football, the only person that can recover a fumble that has been advanced is the person that fumbled the ball. So again, turnover on downs there. I like the fact that Chaparral take a shot, but Rock Canyon coming up roses there.
Yeah, and starting from their own 41-yard line now, really good position. And Todd is hit from behind as he releases it. It is an incomplete pass there, and Isaac Wilson releasing, and there's one of your slobber knockers.
Hey, Isaac Wilson, more like Isaac Hayes, the late great singer, the R&B master right there. But Isaac Hayes, or excuse me, got me saying it. Isaac Wilson getting around the corner there, and number 53 for Rock Canyon, Griffin Cahey, he's been coming out of that stance a little late. He's got to get a quicker jump out of there and read the ball a little bit.
Well, and to add insult to injury, hands to the face called against Rock Canyon. So what started out as pretty good field position at their own 41-yard line is going to move them all the way back to the 20.
So again, the interesting call there, though, is you take the penalty and don't take the sack in the second down. So again, now Rock Canyon's got 3 downs to try and get a first here.
All right, Brian Todd to go to work. Out to Neiman. Everybody knows where number 8 is. Wilson will be one of the first ones to get there.
They have got to be smarter offensively and use that kid as a decoy, but because for whatever reason, anytime number 8 for Rock Canyon is in the game, anytime Neiman gets his hands on the ball, there are at least 3 defenders for Chaparral. That is not normal, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
They must be keying on him for some reason. And if you're taker, use it. Use it. If these guys are keying on him, fake that way and throw a screen or some kind of a slant pass on the backside. Use that momentum from the defense.
loss of 5, but you see it's 2nd and Douglas County to go. 36 yards. First down's at the 41-yard line. A little delayed draw. And number 8 was in the game, and Neiman will get the carry up the middle.
And just a couple yards, and it even looks like Neiman's coming up a little lame there as he gets up, a little bit of limp to him. Looks like he's going to stay in the game.
Well, why shouldn't he? Every time he gets the ball, there's 3 Wolverines all over him.
He's been taking a beating tonight, and again, as we widen out our shot here, once the play gets ready to get started here, you'll notice you can't see the yard markers on the sidelines over there. Again, a 3rd and 32 for Rock Canyon.
They are way south of the screen right there. Flip it back, looking for Neiman, looking for some room. They're trying to strip the ball, and did they get it done? They did. Wolverines will be on top of it. Wilson took it away from him.
Wow, Wilson coming on strong here. The big sack on this drive, and then now they strip, and a great play as we see on the replay. Great shot there from our camera guys. Great shot there, able to rip that ball out of there. Ball hits the ground. 3 Chaparral defenders right there. But I like what Coach Tinker's thinking there, though. We're backed up. We're still in this game. Let's just pitch it, punt it away, play some defense. But Chaparral coming up with a huge play by Wilson, forcing the issue and taking the ball back. So now if you're Rock Canyon, you have got to get a stop here the way this football game has been going on.
Chance for the Wolverines to try to put this thing away. Chaparral coming in 5-2. They are 13th in the RPI. And now they'll give it up the middle. That's Smithwick. And you can see game plan's going to change a little groundwork here for Chap.
Well, and if you're Chaparral, anytime that you're watching a defensive game, if you've got the lead, the goal is run the clock. Run the clock, because offensively, I don't want to say you've struggled, but you're almost 3 quarters in and you still only got 10 points. So right now, it's all about take this to the 3rd quarter, or take the rest of the time off the clock in the 3rd quarter and start this drive, finish this drive in the 4th.
Peyton Ross, the quarterback here. He's going to keep it and roll. Looking downfield. Will escape one, fires to the end zone, and wisely throws it out of the back of the end zone.
Well, and I know he's just trying to get rid of it there, but I have to remind him they don't give you points for throwing it through the goalpost there, but just got to get rid of it. And if you're a coach, that's fine. Throw that thing as far away from the field as you possibly can. So I joke there, but actually a smart play by Ross to get rid of it, throw it out of the end zone. So a good play there, keeps the drive alive, however, stops the clock. I know Coach Dobbs would have liked to have run this whole 3rd quarter out and finished this drive in the 4th, but now 3rd and 7. Rock Canyon showing some rock-hard abs right here, trying to get another stop.
Got to get to the 10-yard line to move the chains. Ross, play action. And running for his life once again. To the 20 and spun out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. And coming up to make the play was Zach Wilson.
You've got to be ecstatic if you're Coach Tinker right now. Great showing by his defense right here, coming up with the stop, forcing a field goal here. Now, as we know in high school football, field goals are not always automatic here, and we see that at all 3 levels, not just high school. But if Chaparral doesn't hit this here, huge momentum swing for Rock Canyon going the other direction.
32-yard attempt. Ben Carney, the kick is up, and it is good. 32 yards.
Well, Kearney, he may have snuck back into this American Furniture Warehouse Player of the Game conversation here.
Yeah.
He's been the guy. He's got half of the points for Chaparral right now. But again, if you're Rock Canyon, big deal. We gave up the ball inside the 30. You get the stop there after a quick change possession and able to stop them and hold them to a field goal. That is a win in the book of defensive football.
With the holidays quickly approaching, time to take advantage of the lowest prices on dining room furniture and accessories. Whether you're looking for a formal dining room set to entertain the family or just looking to upgrade your dining space, American Furniture Warehouse, one-stop shop. We'll even deliver and set it up. The white glove delivery service, all in time for the holidays. Check them out. American Furniture Warehouse at AFW.com. Ready to kick it off. So 13 to 7. Still a one-score game here.
And the band was just rocking there. Phil Mildren, our executive producer, the man, the myth, the legend behind this whole thing, he and I are having a dance-off. Sorry, Cory. I mean, if you're more than welcome to jump in here, but
I'm good.
Big Phil's got some moves, baby.
I'm not even going to try.
Oh, come on, Cory. You got some rhythm, man. All right, now, Rock Canyon. If you're Rock Canyon here, you still got a couple minutes here left in the third, but the question becomes, what are you going to do differently?
Yeah.
We saw on the last drive, Chaparral's kind of got you figured out right now. We know they know when Neiman's getting the ball, that's
right.
for sure. We haven't seen any passes downfield. Again, try the read option. Maybe take some shots over the middle of the field where we saw guys wide open. They got to start taking advantage of these opportunities before the clock runs out.
Just 31 seconds left here in the quarter. Todd will find Ramsey here, tries to juke his way around. Will get to about the 19-yard line, a loss of a yard, and well played. Delano Lewis will get up there and make that open field tackle.
But I will reiterate, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Switch it up. Stop trying to hit the middle of the field. Now you stretch that defense a little bit. Now that corner's got to be thinking, okay, well, maybe they will throw it outside. I can't just crash in when I see a run or a run pass fake. So, I mean, this is good work for Tinker. Now, obviously, you want to get some positive yards, but end of the third here, good game going.
12 minutes left in this one, nothing decided. Chaparral with the lead. It's the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American Furniture Warehouse.
Get the Denver Post Preps coverage delivered to your inbox. Sign up for newsletters at denverpost.com/alerts.
Post Preps Game of the Week here, and here's who we got coming up for you next week and in week 10 as well. Highlands Ranch at Legend. We're going to be right back down here, and then Grandview and Overland. Great matchups here. Watch it on Facebook. Make sure you like us, and share it with your friends if you will. This one's coming down to the end. Let them know what's going on. Handoff up the middle. Avery will take that one for just a short gain of a couple yards. Jacobs Stanton is in there. Wilson always around, so is Dietz.
Trying to get some traction here offensively for Rock Canyon. Continuing, and what they don't want to do is abandon the run game. And I get that. And you really want to press this interior of this defense. But again, the interior of this defense has been the strength of this Chaparral team. So got to try and attack the outsides here. I keep waiting for it.
Brian Todd came in the first quarter and replaced Adam Mullen. He sets Avery to the right side, trips on the bottom part of the screen, and Todd now tucks and is going to run and is caught from behind, gets to about the 26-yard line. Wilson along with Stanton getting there. For a minute, I think Todd thought he was going to get himself a first down, but now you've got a decision to make.
Wow, and we finally saw that athleticism a little bit. I wish they would have used it a little bit more on that drive. They might have had a chance to get a first down there, but again, you can't knock the Chaparral defense. They just seem to continue to make play after play after play, and again, we've seen special teams huge all night long. I mean, we could probably give it to the whole special teams, but we still got some time left here. We'll see how this goes, but got to be cautious if you're Rock Canyon here.
All right, last time Rock Canyon punted, it was blocked. And it was blocked again. The rugby style, they got through. Ball gets fumbled into the end zone, and Wilson is on top of it. The Wolverines have taken control.
Now, this is something that I haven't seen all year long. Special teams is going to win. Wait a second.
Oh, no.
We've got a penalty. It might have been an offsides by Chaparral. Let's see here. It looked like the Chaparral, oh no, they were upset because I don't know, the confusion here. Referee's talking in the middle of the field. There is a flag.
Now maybe they're thinking that the ball got flipped forward potentially. Well, we'll have to see. Now he's trying to communicate with the Rock Canyon sideline here.
So unsportsmanlike conduct on Peyton Ross after the play. Maybe a little extra Rochambeau of the mouth there, but I believe he was asking Coach Tinker whether he wanted to enforce it on the extra point here or on the kickoff. It looks like they will hold off until the kickoff.
2 blocked punts resulting in 2 touchdowns. The extra is up and good.
Well, and not only that, not just the 2 touchdowns, but the initial field goal as well came from special teams. So, boy, Chaparral special teams shining bright tonight. Huge game for them. Very rarely do you see a special teams unit account for basically 17 points.
Wilson's the one who blocked the first punt. This time he's the one who recovers the punt in the end zone.
And we get to take a look at the replay here. And maybe we'll get to see take a shot at number 3 to see what Peyton Ross may have done here late, but great play.
You know, I think it was Jacob Stanton that got in there and got the block.
I believe you're right there. Well, I mean, Stanton, it's been Isaac Wilson, it's been Peyton Ross, it's been a collection of seniors on this team for Chaparral that have made the plays that have mattered down the stretch here, and even earlier in the game, as we alluded to with that field goal that they got from special teams. Cory, we may have to give it to the whole unit here. I don't know that we've ever done that. I don't know that we can do that. Well, I'm sure these guys here in the booth can make anything happen, but we may have to give it to the whole special teams. How do you pick one guy?
Yeah, special teams look pretty good here. That's the whole reason they've got the lead.
Absolutely.
17 of the 20 points accounted for by them. Right?
Hey, if you're a coach, you'll take that any day.
Yeah.
Because that means that your offense didn't have to break their backs to get it. I mean, obviously you'd like to see a little bit more offensive production, but if you're Coach Dobbs, you'll take it.
All right. Turning to kick it away. Bounding ball, scooped at about the 40-yard line for Rock Canyon, and great field position as they just keep pushing forward down to about the 44.
And again, the reason for that field position was the penalty that came up earlier, and that was Ramsey again. Ramsey's been the guy for Rock on the other side, but again, they kicked from the 25-yard line because of that personal foul that gave Rock Canyon some field position. Now, if you're Coach Tinker at this point, you got to take some shots here. You're coming down to 10 minutes left. You're down 2 possessions. Your offense hasn't had any chunk plays in about 12 minutes here. You've got to take some shots. I expect them to go downfield. We'll see what happens, though.
17 unanswered points by Chaparral. Todd looking here to the near side, fires it out there. Caught, nifty move by Ramsey. He's still on his feet now as he picks his way forward to about the 32-yard line.
Hey, Cory, there's only one thing to say after that. Okay, boy. I see you out there. That's the only thing you can say is, okay, boy. I see him working out there. Straight feet, fighting for every extra yard. This has been the guy that's been the epitome of what this Rock Canyon team is right now. Showing some heart, showing some fight. This kid has been everything for the Jaguars tonight.
That's a big first down. Got a little momentum going their way now. Pistol set. Todd looking to the left. Now he's looking for an escape hatch. He's got one here on the near side. Will step out about the 26.
There's that speed. I keep talking about it. We talked about the fact that this is an athletic kid. You've got to utilize it. Now, he's seeing the field better now. He's looking for where his openings were, because we saw earlier in the first half, later in the first half, and early in the second half, when he would take off to run, he was not picking the right holes to run through, and that's when we saw the sacks and the tackles for loss. Now finding the right holes and picking up positive yardage.
Give him 6, 2nd and 4 now. Rock Canyon, 4-down territory. You've got to imagine with 9:34 to go in the game. Look out. Right on the end. Mitch Mullen just anticipating the snap there.
And in the booth here, we are right next to the Rock Canyon coaches, and we just see the look of just despair because these kids have been fighting all night long but just continue to kind of get in their own way. Every time that they make a big play, they tend to come right back and kind of stub that toe. I know I've used that phrase a million times tonight, but that's what I see. They've got to make something happen here on second and long.
Pistol set again. Looking to go up top. Got a man there. Caught. And down at the 9-yard line. Garrison will come away with it. The safety just late getting over there, and that is a big pickup.
Well, first of all, that's the best pass of the night from either quarterback. I don't care whether it's Chaparral. I don't care if it's Rock Canyon. That was the best pass of the night right there. Great loft on it. Steps into it. Good range of motion on the arm there. Drops it right into the bucket. Garrison, the senior, getting his hands on it. Great catch there. Secures it. And now you're first and goal. Rock Canyon's rolling.
23 yards of the pass and catch from the far side hash mark. Todd's looking to the left. Fires it out there. And the receiver ended up going down here.
That didn't look good. That didn't look good, and hopefully the kid gets up here.
That's helping.
But he's trying to do what we call a spot route here, and we may be able to get a quick replay here if we get a chance. But trying to do the spot route, what he wants to do is he wants to get upfield, press that corner up on the top of the screen there, and then wheel back inside. And as he tried to wheel back inside, it looked like he kind of twisted something there.
He grabbed his hip.
And that might have been, and God, you hope that's not the case because hip injuries are very hard to come back from. The socket that you have there in your hip joint, it may have just been a hyperextension, hoping for the best here. Never want to see a kid go down like that, especially in this type of situation. But again, let's take another look at the top of the screen here. You'll see him try to pivot inside and just not able to. And it looked like his foot got caught, and when he turned, a little bit of pain there in the hip.
We'll take a break here as they attend to Halpin on the far sideline there. Chaparral with a 17 or a 13-point lead in the fourth.
After playing the game for many years, and I decided I could either watch from the couch or get on the field and become part of the game.
I became a judge because it was a natural transition from being a gymnast to coach, now judge.
I love the large crowds, the excitement of the game, and you know what? I got the best seat in the house.
Help these kids. Help this community. Become an official.
Well, we see Ryan Halpin gingerly being helped off the field here. Did something to that right hip. We wish him the best here. In the meantime, Rock Canyon got to find a way to get in the end zone, that's for sure.
Well, and the biggest part of this for Rock Canyon is, and obviously you don't make light of the injury, but sometimes an injury or a stoppage in play like that can kill momentum. So what you want to do if you're Coach Tinker on the sidelines over there is, hey, our guy's going to be fine. He walked off the field. Now it's time to focus back on what we were doing. We were making some headway. We've got to punch this ball in and get a touchdown. If you do, one possession game here with just under 9 minutes by the time they might score. So huge opportunity for the Jaguars.
Here's what's at stake. 29th in the RPI, 4-3, looking for their first win in conference. To the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Rock Canyon. Parker Garrison will bring it in.
Well, and Garrison has kind of become the go-to guy with Ramsey a little banged up. Ramsey's been looking a little gingerly lately. I don't know, blown coverage, but either way, Garrison all by himself in the corner of the end zone. And then the other part of that, you're really starting to see Brian Todd get comfortable. Nice step into the throw there. Great ball, great loft, great throw, great touchdown. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Boy, that is a huge score and a big extra point coming here because you can get it down to 6.
Absolutely. And seemingly that means if you were able to score another touchdown, you could potentially win it.
And now you're running guys onto the field here. Snaps a little high. Reichert will split the uprights anyway. How about that? Brian Todd went running off the field. Now, remember, Halpin probably a part of that special team, so you had to figure out a way to make sure you had him replaced. But Well, they got it done. Timeout here. Chaparral still holding the lead. Rock Canyon on their way back. This is the Post-Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American.
Did you know the Denver Post has live audio broadcasts of high school sports games? Listen to the Game of the Week on Post Preps Radio. Go to denverpost.com/preps to find upcoming games or listen to archived coverage.
Post-Preps Game of the Week here. Got a good one going. Nice response. A 5-play, 45-yard drive, minute 12 seconds. Brian Todd to Parker Garrison from 9 yards out, and they're within 6. Here's some other scores going on. We were kind of keeping an eye on things here as Cherry Creek up after 3 quarters on horizon, 35-13. Creek trying to go 6-2 on the season here. Some other scores that are out there. I'm looking for the close ones. We've got some blowouts working. Lakewood trying to bounce back after falling to Valor. They are up on Pooter after 3 quarters, 28-21. That's going on up at French Field.
That's a good game right there, too.
Any trickeration here on the kickoff, or do you just turn it over to the defense?
I think at this point your defense has been playing well. Let them do what they do.
Reichard's going to put the foot to it and send it into the end zone here.
Well, and we're kind of getting a glimpse as to why Coach Tinker in the first half might have kicked that 50-yarder. This kid, number 99 here, this kid has got a leg for Rock Canyon. Devin Reichard, the senior, 5'9", 160, actually kicking like he's more like 260.
Yeah.
Got a big leg on a smaller kid there, but been doing really well in the kicking game, minus the blocking at times in front of him. But up until those, if you take out those 3 plays, this might be 14-7 Rock Canyon. I mean, it really could be a 14-3. So Rock Canyon's defense got to come up big here again, give their offense a chance.
Chap offense hadn't been out there for a while either. It's been all special teams, and they'll go to the ground. Lewis,
wow,
lower in the head, move it. I take that back. Smithwick, actually, Dylan Smithwick, the junior, will get the carry.
This is more of their power set. This is their power back. And again, Cory, I'm probably taking the words right out of your mouth, but it's run the clock time. If you're Chaparral, you try and take as much time off this clock as possible and put the pressure back on Rock Canyon.
Smithwick is in the backfield. That's who's going to get the football going off that right side. And Chains will move as he takes it to about the 33-yard line.
Well, and he's built more like your fullback type. He's a little bit shorter, a little bit stouter. You know, it's like a little keg of beer down there running the ball with a white jersey on. But again, a big pickup there. And as we just got an update, Lakewood up 31-21 now, just getting a field goal there in the 4th quarter. So big game there between Lakewood and Pooter. Lakewood up 31-21.
We're at Echo Park here in Parker for Week 8. Post-Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW, and first down and 10. And Smithwick trying to get to the outside. Can't quite get there, but he'll take it to the 35-yard line. Nice job of holding the edge by, let's see, Hanning Essen.
Well, and it looked like Kirchie was lingering around out there. Riddle me that. He's been the guy that's been out there on the edges making plays all night long. But again, Rock Canyon, they got to get some stops here. They cannot allow Chaparral to continue to run this ball. And now the smart play by Coach Dobbs putting in the scat back now, change of pace offensively.
Here we go, 2nd and 8. Scat back's going to get it. That's Lewis trying to pick his way through. Now bounce to the outside. And is run out of bounds over there. Got it to about the 37-yard line.
Well, and run out by the two defensive MVPs for Rock Canyon and Zach Wilson and Vinny Kirchie. These two guys have been the guys that have kept this defense in it all night long. And again, I was just about to, after I made that self-proclamation, I was getting ready to pat myself on the back after I saw Lewis kind of moving around there. But the great play to squeeze that back and force him towards the outside and creating a third down opportunity for their defense.
So here we go, 3rd and 6. Do you go to the air? You keep milking the clock. Ross has got it. He's looking downfield now and will fire it across, and it is incomplete. Well, Tazell Lewis was there. Pretty good coverage that time as Brian Aishi was hanging next to him there. But you got him into some space out there. You're taking a shot.
Well, it looks like Aaron Schultz, number 81, was in the mix there too, but the question was, who was he throwing to? Because Lewis and Schultz were both there, right? So right now, though, if you're Rock Canyon, again, this defense comes up with another stop and another opportunity for their offense. They have done their job tonight. If you're Rock Canyon's defense coordinator, Coach Tinker, you're feeling good about that.
Ross, tried to drill it in there. It comes back to him, and now he's going to try to advance it here. And he will take it to about the 40-yard line.
Short of a first, though. Cory, he got close.
He did indeed.
Boy, he was really close. The yard marker looks to be at about the 43. Let's take a look on the replay here. Kicks it off the back of his own guy, picks it up, and tries to get outside looking for the 43. Boy,
he's really close to that.
Real close. But it looks like they are not going to give it to him. They're giving it back to Rock Canyon. So again, essentially a turnover on special teams. It has been special teams night tonight on both sides of the ball. Now Chaparral's come up with points. Maybe Rock Canyon can here too with the turnover on downs.
Big offensive set now for Brian Todd and the Jags. Looking for an escape patch. There's not one there that time. Isaac Wilson, Dietz is there.
All right, it's time to give one of my big uglies a little bit of love here. Mikey McClellan didn't make the sack there, but big number 57, the defensive end / defensive tackle, he's the one that created that push up in the middle of the pocket, which did not allow for the quarterback, Brian Todd, to sneak out of those little escape routes that we talked about earlier. Great push by number 57, the nose tackle there.
4 in the pattern, trips up top here. The Jags, 3rd and long, and
my goodness.
Oh, did he pick it off? He did indeed. Philip Green will pick it off.
Unbelievable.
Aaron Schultz, the intended receiver, hadn't turned his head yet.
Wow. It almost looked as if he was trying to press the corner, because what you want to do on those moves, it looked like it was going to be a skinny post. You want to press and get as close to that defensive back as possible before you make the cut, and it looks like the ball was a little bit low. By the time he turned, it was underneath him, and an incredible interception here by number 4, Philip Green. My goodness, what an interception. And now wow, I mean, the defenses have been stellar tonight.
Yeah, it has been really something to watch both of these teams defensively. Back to the ground game. Oh, somehow falling forward. Smithwick, that was a giant hit by Stopkasi.
Stopkasi, that's what we're rolling with, because that's what they got on the roster.
There we go.
But again, like we said, doesn't matter. When you're making tackles like that, we'll call you whatever we want to call you, young man. Now, 2nd and long here. Chaparral obviously looking to continue to run that clock, but a huge turnover by the Rock Canyon offense. Huge.
And again, kind of set, just that basic little set. Pete and Ross, the quarterback. Back to Smithwick. He's got both arms wrapped around it and into the middle of the field. They're just running the clock down here as they take it up the middle. Trevor Williams, the first guy there for Rock. That's a hard 2 yards to get right there, up to the 44-yard line. 3rd and 8 coming up. Last time Chaparral had a 3rd down situation when they had the ball, they tried to go up top with it. It turned out to be incomplete, and then the ugly punt by Ross into the backside of one of his players. He almost ended up getting the first down.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say this as well, and we get the timeout from Coach Dobbs there. I think that was going to be a pass, and maybe an offensive coordinator or somebody else on the staff said, hey, let's maybe run this thing and try and kill that clock.
4:36 to go in the game. Break here. It's the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week presented by AFW.
Want to be part of the next Post Preps TV broadcast? Pull out those phones. If you've got video of an amazing high school sports highlight, we want to see it. Send it to us so you could be featured in the social spotlight segment of Post Preps TV. Tweet it to us at Post Preps or at Kyle Newman DP, or send us a message on our Facebook page. Your clip might make the cut and be featured on the next episode of Post Preps TV. Colorado's news, wherever you are, whenever you want it. Watch it online 24/7, denverpost.com/DPTV.
Don't want to miss any of our Post Preps TV broadcasts? Like us on Facebook and turn on page notifications at facebook.com/postpreps.
Here we go. Big 3rd and 8 for Shap. They give it to Lewis. Not going to pass things. Looking for him to try to get it. Still on his feet and will be stood up about 3 yards short.
And I'm laughing here because I'm telling you, somebody got into Coach's ear there and said, hey, let's not throw this thing again and stop that clock. At least, even if you don't get the first down here, you still got a chance to punt it here. But now I start to wonder, if you're Coach Dobbs, your special teams have won you this game, right, Cory?
Yeah.
Do you think about maybe faking here? Because if you can fake it here, you're rolling under 4 minutes. If you can get a first down here with some trickery, and you see Ross back there as the punter, which always makes things interesting, if you can get a first down here with only 3 yards to go, that could seal it. But
couldn't do any worse than what happened before. Has to short hop it. He's going to keep it, and he's going to get the first down. How about that?
Well, in a roundabout way, I was correct.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily the play, but when he had to short hop the snap.
Well, you get on the replay here. I think he was going to punt it, and he just decided to pull it down because twice there. If we can get that replay maybe one more time, you'll see that he thinks about it twice. When he first gets the ball, he thinks about it, and then he thinks about it again as he gets outside, and then he says, nah, you know what, it's too close.
Yep.
Great job by the camera guys there. Thanks, fellas.
That is huge. 3:39 to go. They can run some more clock off here. Rock Canyon still with 2 timeouts. Lewis turning it up, gets to about the 41.
And he's becoming the tough runner for them right now. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe go back to number 30 there for Chaparral. That is Dylan Smithwick. Maybe get some power back out there again as we see him maybe jaunt onto the field here. But again, we'll see some more Carnell Lewis, I'm sure. But again, going back to some power backs and want to beat up that defensive line of the Jaguars.
2nd and 4. Yep, little power run here. Lowering the head, ripping at the ball. He's got both arms wrapped around it, though, and up to about the 36-yard line. The chains will move. That's why the clock is going to stop here. Yeah, Smithwick doing it. Take a look at what's on the schedule for these 2 teams here. We'll start with the Wolverines.
Wow.
Gets a little harder.
Wow, big one.
That'll be at the NAC. And they go in against Big Black.
Wow, big game, big game next week. Playoff implications.
That's big fellas going against each other, too. We talk about Chaparral, pretty good size. Pomona is huge.
Yes, sir.
All right, new set of downs, just 2:25 left to go. Ross going to keep it himself here. Looking upfield, and he's going to stay in bounds. And, he got bent back there a little bit.
Boy, you don't like to see that with your star player, but again, we call him a star player. Why? Because he had the smarts to stay in bounds.
Yeah.
That's why you put the ball in the hands of a kid right here.
See what the coach said? The coach said, no, you need to get down.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Don't take those type of hits anymore, but the wherewithal, the smarts. Could have easily got out of bounds and picked up a couple extra yards, but sacrifices those yards to take ticks off of the clock as we get under 2 minutes here.
Rock Canyon. We'll look at it here in a minute. Or look at it now. Hinckley is next up for Rock Canyon.
And Hinckley, a 1-6 team at the bottom of this league right now. And that's why we talked about if Rock Canyon had some way to kind of pull this game off and be able to win this thing. They had 2 sub 500 teams to finish the season. Now, don't get me wrong, Mountain Vista is still a scrappy, good football team, but right now they're at 3-4. And this is a Hinckley team at 1-6. So these were 2 games that I don't want to say that they guaranteed to win, but they would definitely be favored if we ran a line through Vegas. But right now, this is where Rock Canyon, if they want a shot, they got 2 timeouts here. 2nd and 6 and 2nd and 7, somewhere in there. Get a stop here, get them to 3rd and medium. Maybe you got a shot.
Ross up under center, taking his time. Nobody's jumping. Get it to Smithwick, lowering the hand, and then finally driven backward. That's going to be about a yard short of the first down. And the timeout called there.
Well, this is getting interesting here.
And 1 timeout left.
Boy, this Cory, and I know you hate to say this as you see Chaparral's offensive line there. Don't celebrate too early, boys. Oh, there it is.
Well,
that's the game.
That'll
do it.
That's the end of that.
Yeah, it looks like there was some contact to the head. Coach Tinker out on the field, not happy with that call whatsoever, but essentially that ends it, barring any kind of fumbled snap or a fumbled handoff. That will probably do it with 1:06 left here in the 4th quarter. And it looked like they called a personal foul, and it was a hit to the helmet. Now, I did not exactly see if that was on the quarterback or who that was, but whoever it was, they called it, and for all intents and purposes, that's probably going to end it.
Hey, I got an idea for you. No better time to furnish your home and get that home theater you've always wanted, D.
There you go.
Large in-stock variety HD TVs, consoles, theater seating, electric fireplaces. Entertain all your holiday guests. And American Furniture Warehouse, leave and deliver with the white glove delivery service just in time for the next game. Check them out, afw.com, or stop into one of the 14 locations.
You know what's better than an electric fireplace, Cory?
An ottoman?
An ottoman to prop your feet up right in front of it. Courtesy of American Furniture Warehouse. But hey, I'm still trying. I told the people I was going to continue to try here.
1:06 to go. Chaparral now can kind of wind the clock down back to Smithwick. Take it to about the 10-yard line here.
Well, and right now, if you're Coach Tinker, I think what you do here is you take your timeout. You got 53 seconds left here. Because, look, at the end of the day here, folks, these are the couple scenarios you got. Chaparral gets a first down, it's game over. Okay? If Rock Canyon gets a stop here, Chaparral can kick a field goal. However, with what we've seen from special teams tonight,
you're not rolling
this
that
game
out
isn't
there.
exactly over yet. I mean, you still got another timeout for Rock Canyon. I mean, essentially, you probably could run the clock out here. It's going to be really close with 53 seconds left here because you can call a timeout right away. Let's say this next play only takes 3 seconds. You can stop the clock again with 50 seconds left. You might be able to get to that 4th down, but it's definitely going to be interesting. But this is a game that's went all the way down to the wire, and regardless, a heck of a football game to watch. A lot of mistakes on both sides, but a lot of great plays on both sides. But that's what you expect from high school football, and that's why Post Preps brings these games to you every week, because this is the quality of football that we see. Fortunately, Cory and I and the rest of the guys here in the booth, we get the advantage to see great football like this every single week.
Absolutely. Okay, winding down here. A few handshakes going on before this happens. 53 seconds left, by the way. Now they figured the math out here because they're down to 1 timeout. Ross is going to take a knee.
Does Coach Tinker take the last timeout is the question. And it looks like he will not. He's going to let this clock run. And on second down. Well, no, it should be third down.
Yeah.
On third down here, they'll be able to take one more knee, and this will end it.
Okay, we got 34 seconds left to pick the player of the game. I know we're still getting together on it, but
Cory,
there's a handful of people here.
I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of the options here. I mean, you had defensively, I mean, you had a couple of guys in Zach Wilson with 2 interceptions. Vince Kirchie, that's for Rock Canyon, but on the Chaparral side, the Lewis brothers. I mean, you've really got this thing. I mean, any thoughts
Ben
for you?
Kearney, a couple of field goals for you. You throw that out there, but at the same time, the special teams unit, pretty darn good. The block punt by Isaac Wilson.
And that's why we have no other choice here. Cory, we just made the decision. You got to go with the entire special teams for Chaparral. I mean, this is you don't normally see 17 points put up by your special teams, and we're not even talking about just field goals, 2 block punts, a block kick. I mean, Chaparral special teams won this game for them tonight. There's no doubt about it.
The player, and in this case, unit of the game, is presented by American Furniture Warehouse. Come fall into savings during our fall clearance event, only at American Furniture Warehouse. Visit afw.com.
Well, and I think there is one more player of the game that we could probably give it to. Might be Coach Dobbs, Cory. The call to go to Peyton Ross there in the second quarter, your offense stalling, needed a spark. He was the guy that did it for them offensively, although their defense and special teams won it. Peyton Ross maintained this game for Chaparral offensively.
So coming up, we'll be back here at Echo Park Stadium for a game next week. That's going to be another good one.
Boy, I tell you. I mean, this season continues to get better and better as we get towards the end here, as we see some of those great special teams plays that Chaparral made tonight. I mean, but legend next week, huh?
Yeah.
First of all, I got to give them some props just off to the side here. I love the unis. Love the unis, a legend. Good job, boys.
So it's a big win for Chaparral. They're going to stay inside in the RPI, inside that top 16. They'll go to 7-2 on the season, a perfect 3-0 in the Mount Evans Conference. Rock Canyon will fall to 4-4 overall. They're still looking for their first win in conference, and they've got Hinckley coming up next week. The final in this one, as they turn the scoreboard off on me. That kind of figures. As Chaparral wins it 20-14. I had to go back and look here. 20-14, and big win for the Wolverines. For everyone here, this has been a production of Stream It Sports. For D. White, I'm Cory Lopez. We'll talk to you next week right here from Echo Park. This has been the Denver Post Preps Game of the Week, presented by American Furniture Warehouse.
American Furniture Warehouse is the largest furniture retailer in the country. And now you can order online at the new AFW.com. Shop the largest selection of living room, bedroom, and dining room collections, all right here at the lowest prices. We'll carefully pack and ship your new furniture directly to your home, where our own professionally trained drivers will set it up for you. We can deliver almost anywhere in the U.S. in our own fleet of trucks. Shop online with nationwide delivery at American Furniture Warehouse.
Got an idea you think would make a great story in the Denver Post? Submit it at denverpost.com/news tips.